Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. The delay has been so big, I have forgotten most of your names. No problem, that I will ask again. And you, I believe, have forgotten most of the things that I have taught. Huh? 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 Because you are supposed to go through. Very good. So we are doing level by level. We will resume because it's been so long that I haven't seen your face. I'm trying to be strong, bro. I am very strong. We have to make our subject strong. So we are doing CA first. Inter, tax, direct tax. In direct tax, we have only one law, that is Income Tax Act. And when you earn income, you will have to pay tax. So we started our syllabus with our basic concept: what is taxation, why government is taking tax. We studied all of that. We went to the definitions. We understood the main governing charging section that decides our entire syllabus. By the way, so what if we had a gap? Our syllabus is over. Only two things are left. The two things are calculation of NTTI and tax. Now these two things were emerging from that charging section. So what was that charging section? Section 4. That sentence, if you remember, you are still with me at par because the delay has been really big. So what was that charging section? Income tax is payable by every person in each assessment year on the net taxable total income earned during the previous year, and our calculations depend on residential status and scope of total income. By the way, we have finished our first two chapters. So we have finished definition of person. 7 people in the definition of person. If they earn income, they have to pay tax. That is individual, HUF, company, firm including LLP, AOP, BOI, local authority, artificial juridical person. 7 people fall in the definition of person. Correct. Then we understood previous year of earning income. All you are required to know is the applicable previous year for your exam is. So May 25, September 25, Jan 26, pre-Y 24, 25, and the calculation will be done in the assessment year 25, 26. So earn income in the previous year, calculate your income in the assessment year. So we finished these three things. We finished our first step. Then we went to residential status. Taxpayers will be divided into resident and non-resident. Resident will be paying tax on global income, Indian as well as foreign. Non-resident will be paying tax on Indian income. So we understood residential status of all assessees, and then we also understood meaning of Indian income: work done in India or payment received in India or deemed to be Indian income will be Indian income, which will be taxable for ROR, RNOR, and everyone. With that, we finished our second chapter. Then I told you that if you observe the charging section, 4 sentences, 4 lines are over. Only 2 things are left. Syllabus is over. Only 2 things are left. Kya, sir? Calculation of NTTI, calculation of tax. Have I taught you tax calculation? No. But I have given you a rough idea about slab rates. About as your income increases, the rate will increase. So there will be higher tax for people in higher income levels and lower tax for people in lower income levels. Slab rate system. Other points I think also I have done, like separate rates for residents, separate rate for senior citizen. There is old regime, new regime. Plus there are concepts like rebate, surcharge, cess, etc. I just had to give you a rough idea about slabs. If your income is less, the rate will also be lower. Not just the rupee liability, but the rate wise liability also will be lower. And this knowledge will help you in understanding the meaning of net taxable total income. Is that clear? Sure. Then I think we went to exempt income. And I told you that exempt income ranges from section 10 to section 13B. Hello. But here we have only section 10. In that also we have selected clauses, and we were supposed to start section 10. I think I left you little early because we were supposed to have a gap. Good, I left you early and I didn't start the first exempt income because the first one is the biggest of all. And imagine 8 points in that, learning 1 point and then learning the second point after 20 days. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, incomes not forming a part of total income, those incomes on which government does not want to take tax from you, and in technical language we call it exempt income. Incomes which are exempt from the levy of tax. First section, biggest section, and something that you are aware of. So section is only one. This is the first clause of section 10. So I don't know whether now I have told you this or no, or whether you studied this or no in law or no, but from my side, let me tell you this, that normally whenever we write any section number, The number that we write in bracket is called subsection. Have I had discussion with you on this? No. Normally the number written in bracket is called subsection. But two sections of income tax law, section 2 and section 10, we don't call it subsection, we call it clause. Sir, why? I'll explain. For example, we have a section 139(1), compulsory filing of income tax return. If you have suffered a loss, we will file something called a loss return. So that is subsection 3. If you have missed your due date, we will be filing something called a belated return. If you have filed a return and you want to make changes, you will be filing something called a revised return. Are all of them related to return filing? Are all of them related to the same topic? We can call them subsections. But when the points are independent of each other, section 2 is a list of, come on, you have to tell me this. Section 2 is definitions. So internally they have no connection with each other. And likewise, section 10 is also a list of incomes on which you don't have to pay tax. We have 10(1), we have 10(2). There is nothing in common between them except that both of them are exempt. But internally there is no connection otherwise. It's just a list of incomes on which government does not want. And therefore, in these sections, section 2 and section 10, we don't call them subsection, we call them clauses. When the various parts of a section are related to each other, we call them subsections. But when they are independent of each other, we will call them clauses. Now, CA exams are not oral exams. In your exam, you have to write it like this. And in your mind, you are saying clause or subsection, the paper checker does not. Think about it. You have to write 10 bracket 1. And if exam is the only target, I will not have this discussion with you. I could have saved these few minutes, not discussing this with you. From day one, I have told you one thing, and I stick to it. Do not come to my class if your target is only exam. Do not come to my class if your target is only exam. If you want to think beyond exam, if you want to maintain your respect and dignity in the real life, if you want to sit an interview and you tell the interviewer that, sir, in these two sections, they are not subsection, they are clauses, because interview will be oral. So you have to speak also. Your knowledge, your concept has to be clear. Target knowledge, exams will automatically be taken care of. And as far as content coverage for exam is concerned, you already have the first book and the second book is going to be delivered today or tomorrow to you. You look at the size, the size of, some of you have received the second book. Those attending online, no, it will come at any time on the way. It will come at any time. It is ready in printing and will come anytime. It can come today, tomorrow, anytime. In any case, we don't need it right now. You don't need to even carry it to class, but I'll tell you very clearly, the size of the second book is double of the size of this book, and that book contains only questions. Only questions and MCQs. So exam will be taken care of, but classroom is for gaining the knowledge. And therefore, your performance in your articleship and your approach to your CA final will automatically improve. So yes, in these two sections, we call them clauses. Normally, the number in bracket is called, but two places we will call it clause. That is section 10 and section 2. So first clause of section 10. Section 10 is list of exempt income, the most famous and popular of all. Which was the first exempt income that you were? So agriculture income. First lecture, I told you about the logic, about the constitutional problem. Achha, one thing I have told you that every lecture we should have something that, yes, knowledge wise today I have gained something. Like the constitutional issue of agriculture we discussed. Or now today we discussed about the difference between subsection and clause. Anything that is improving your knowledge, at least one thing per day we should be having. So yes, section 10, clause 1, exemption for agriculture income. A lot of things will become clear here. Just like in the charging section, you understand charging section 4 was one sentence, but we divided into parts. Here also it is one sentence, but I am dividing it into 3 parts for effective understanding. The section goes like this. The section says rent or revenue. Means we are granting you exemption of tax from two incomes, rent and revenue both. Means you can earn rent or you can earn revenue. See, ordinarily, if you're doing farming, if you're doing agriculture, so you'll be growing some farm products. They can be food grains or non-food grains. Need not necessarily be things that we eat. Cotton is a farm product. We do farming. You don't eat cotton. Bro, there are so many better things to eat. You will sell that product and earn revenue. Do you understand? Is that revenue income earned out of agriculture? Yes. So are we granting exemption? But notice the other word here. The other word here is rent. Every person who owns farm land does not have the willingness or patience to do agriculture. Agriculture requires patience. One by one, you have to perform various activities from sowing of seeds to plowing of land, harvesting, then selling at the correct season, kharif crop, rabi crop. Lots and lots of patience is required. Is it possible that the landowner is not interested in doing agriculture? So I am the landowner. Supposingly, I am not interested in doing agriculture. You are a farmer. You have knowledge of farming, but you, just an example, you don't have. Otherwise, again, you start giving expressions. That I have not forgotten. You don't have money to buy land. Example. So you can do farming on my land. With that farming also, will you earn revenue? And is that agriculture income? So should you get exemption? See, revenue from agriculture need not be your own land. No, we can do it on a rented land also. But what are you going to pay me for usage of? My rent is also considered as agriculture if my land is being used for agriculture. See, the farmer himself, the owner, then there won't be rent. There will be only revenue. But if there are two different persons, owner of land is different from the person doing farming. So the farmer will get revenue and the owner will get rent. And both of them are exempt. Because the definition here includes rent or revenue, both. Look at the statement. What is agriculture? Rent is agriculture or revenue? Revenue, of course, is agriculture. But the rent also is agriculture. Do you understand? So, let us understand. What did this line teach us? Revenue, obviously from sale of agriculture products. Is that revenue eligible for exemption? By the way, this was not something that required explanation. If you are doing farming, obviously your revenue will be exempt. But the rent that will be earned by the landowner, the landlord, will also be exempt if your tenant is, come on, a farmer. If your tenant is a farmer, if your tenant is performing farming activities on your land, so your rent will also be. You are not doing agriculture. You have only given your rent for usage, but you will still get your exemption. Do you understand that? So rent is exempt or revenue? Both. Second part. Sentence is one only. A sentence cannot start from the word from. But second part of the sentence. From land. This is big. Ladies and gentlemen, this is big. We've discussed this in one of the questions of scope of total income. But oh, now it is no longer short-term memory loss. It has become long-term memory loss now. What are the chances? What are the odds that you remember questions of scope of total income today? I don't live in too many high hopes. So you may or may not remember this. Let me see, after me telling you, do you recollect? The land has to be. We have had good discussion on this. Sri Lanka ka agriculture was a. Acha, you remember that? Areva. You remember that because we did it at that time, or you happened to go through the notes recently? Whatever you say, I have to take it on face value. See, how you remember is not important. As long as you remember that agriculture income ka exemption is only and only if the land is in, if the land is outside India. That question, it was Sri Lanka, it will be taxable. Exemption is available only if that land from which you are earning, rent or revenue, any one of them. It can be anything. What is exempt, rent or revenue? Both. Provided the land which is generating the rent or the revenue is situated in India. That means, what is the second sentence teaching? The second part of the sentence teaching us. Therefore, If you are doing agriculture outside India, that agriculture is not eligible in this section, and therefore that agriculture income is going to be taxable. That agriculture income is going to be taxable. Exemption is only if the land is in India, and we have had discussion on this. We will not forego tax on your foreign agriculture. Exemption is only if it is Indian agriculture. You wrote it? Close the bracket? Nahi? Nahi? Pakka? What's your name? I will have to ask all names again. Sorry. Sujal. Sujal. One thing you should know about me, that if I have kept the bracket open, so you also have to keep it open. Is foreign agriculture taxable? Going by what the statement is. Yes, because exemption is only on Indian agriculture. This agriculture income, whether I mention or I do not mention, can be taxable only and only for resident. It cannot be taxable for non-resident. It does not come under scope of total income, because foreign income can be taxable only for resident. We are not saying that we are granting exemption to non-residents. See, exemption we can grant only if it comes in the scope. Anything that does not come in the scope, there is no question of taxable or exempt. But for resident, everything comes under scope. So we are taxing it. Indian agriculture will be exempt, and foreign agriculture will be taxable, but only for resident. Make sense? Now you can close the bracket. Is that clear? Last part. See, if we stop here, the rent or revenue from land in India. This is the heading. Where is agriculture? Section has to mention agriculture. No. Rent or revenue. See, I have this normal land in Mumbai, mill land, used for a factory. That is also rent from land in India. That can't be exempt. The exemption can come only when the main thing happens, and the main thing here is, and thus the last part, which happens to be the most important part, the land which is in India has to be used for agricultural purposes. Land in India used for agriculture purposes. Means non-agricultural land ka revenue will be taxable and rent also will be taxable. Ultimately, exemption we are granting only to income arising out of agriculture. So the land has to be used for agriculture. Once the land is used for agriculture, the revenue generated will be exempt, and the rent of the landlord will also be exempt, provided the land is located. Yeah, so here goes the statement: rent or revenue from land in India used for agriculture purposes. What is the full statement? Rent or revenue from land in India used for agriculture purposes is going to be exempt. Rent or revenue, what is exempt? Both. Provided the land is in India and provided the land is being used for agricultural purposes. So whatever we are writing in black color is what is written in the section. And what I am writing apart from that by changing the color is my explanation. If you observe, this is the explanation part. That okay, what is revenue? The amount generated from sale of products. What is rent? What the landlord will earn. If this is exempt, that means this is going to be taxable. And of course, the last part of the statement is the most important. So that will require good amount of explanation. One thing we are clear of, that the land has to be used for. Sir, what do you mean by agriculture? Don't you think it's a very important question? And don't react to this by saying, agriculture. Sir, what is agriculture? You understand the question? Because if this is not clear, if this is left ambiguous, you understand ambiguous, Contract Act. If this is not properly defined, so do you realize we are Indians? And how we can and we will misuse the provisions in the law. If this is not defined, so then I do one thing. Go to your home or office balcony If no balcony, then your window grill. Window ka grill to you must be having. Put some flower pots and put some water every morning. Sunlight is natural. Sunlight is coming automatic. That's why I told you, no balcony or window. Agriculture. And all your income will become exempt. Sir, good idea, yaar. This requires definition, no, bro. Without that, you cannot be getting your exemption. What exactly do you mean by agriculture? They say agriculture can be any of the following two activities. One, you are performing something called basic operations on the land. Any activity can constitute farming only if you are performing these basic initial operations. Sir, what are basic operations? Sowing of seeds. See, unless and until you sow the seeds, there is no farming. Then you have to do something called plowing of land. Now you have a tractor or you do it manually or you use what, that is your choice. But this has to be done so that you can, your watering, adequate watering, sunlight, whatever is required for doing that particular farming. Once the product grows, you have to do something called harvesting. These are the basic operations that we perform on land. Only when you perform these basic operations for growing a crop, we can say that we have done agriculture on that land. Once that happens, of course, the land has to be in India. Once these two conditions are fulfilled, matlab you have performed basic operations, land is in India. Then whether the revenue generated from that or if the landlord is someone else and you are paying rent to that landlord, that rent also, both of them will be considered as agriculture income for the purpose of getting this exemption. So anybody who is performing basic operations will be considered as doing agriculture on this land. Anybody performing basic operations will be considered as doing agriculture on this land. Is that understood? Okay. And second, observe carefully what they have written here. If you are doing basic plus advanced operations, understand what exactly they are trying to tell you here. Have you understood the meaning of basic operations? It happens only in my lecture. And with me, it happens only in your batch. Understand how they have placed the words here. Basic plus advanced. First of all, basic operations ka meaning we have understood. What are advanced operations? If I have to keep it very simple, advanced operations simply mean making the product fit for the market. Making the product marketable. See, the wheat that you purchase from grocery stores, these days the people don't purchase wheat also. Good old days, no, my childhood, we used to actually buy wheat and grind that wheat at home and make that wheat ka flour for making chapatis. Then there came a phase where we used to buy the wheat from the grocery store and there were independent shopkeepers who are doing that grinding work. And we used to give our container in which they used to put the flour and give it back to us. Now we have reached one level, Gen Z culture. Abhi to now Gen Alpha is gone, now Gen Beta is taking birth, where we are buying ready-made atta from the market. But then, yes, once upon a time, when we used to buy the wheat, and even today in shops, it is available. We don't buy, that is our choice. The wheat that is grown in the farm and it is plucked, it contains all the leaves, it contains some thorns also. That cannot be sold in shops. You have to remove that extra part from it. Here you are not doing any basic operation on the land. From the land, the product is already taken out. But that product which is taken out from the land, which is plucked from the land, cannot be sold in shops. You have to do these activities. We call them cutting, pruning, etc. You have to do these activities. Only then the product can be sold in the market. And you are performing these advanced operations. See, of course, are you doing more activity here? The selling price obviously will be higher. See, as a farmer, if I do only basic operations and hand over that wheat, I will get less price. Then there will be a middleman who will do that cutting activity and then sell it to the shopkeeper. So that middleman may be doing the advanced operations. But as a farmer, I have the choice of doing both operations. So if I do the advance operations, I will get more money. That advance operation ka money also I will get. This is a choice, whether you want to do it or not. But in case you do it, you'll get more revenue. That extra revenue will also be considered as agriculture, because basic plus advance is also going to be considered as agriculture. But did you notice one thing? One, a farmer is performing basic operations. Is that agriculture? Yes. After performing basic operations, he does not have time to do the advanced operations, that cutting, pruning, etc. He wants to focus on the next product. So he is not doing the advanced operations. He is performing only the basic operation. Is that agriculture? Yes. Supposingly he had the time to do advanced operations and get more money by doing both activities. Is that total activity considered as agriculture? Yes. But in the first case, if he is doing basic, so a third party, someone else will have to do the advanced part. So if farmer is doing basic, is that agriculture? And that other party, that middleman who is doing advanced operations, is that agriculture? No. No. Observe the definition of agriculture. Only basic is agriculture. Basic with advance is agriculture. But only advance. That means you have not performed these activities. This is mandatory. This extra part you do or you don't. If you do, there is more revenue, full exempt. If you don't, there is less revenue, exempt. But if you have not done this activity, it will never be considered as agriculture. Basic is mandatory. Advance you do or you don't, optional. So only basic, is that agriculture? Basic plus advanced, is that agriculture? Only advanced is not agriculture, is what the third point is going to teach us. So the sentence goes like this: rent or revenue, both, from land in India. Matlab outside India it is going to be taxable, and the land should be used for agriculture purposes. Sir, what is agriculture purpose? Only basic? Yes. Basic plus advanced? Yes. But only advanced? No. Is that clear, everyone? So whatever we have studied, sentence is over. Rent or revenue from land in India used for agriculture purposes. Sentence is over. But whatever we have understood with this, let us summarize with the help of some points. I'll first take up the most complicated of all, the last part which we just discussed. Very quickly tell me, if I do only basic, is that agriculture? Yes. Yes. If I do basic plus advanced, is that agriculture? Yes. Yes. But if I do only advanced, is that agriculture? No. Means basic activities are compulsory. Advanced you do or you don't, optional. But basic activities, basic operations are going to be mandatory. Third part ka summary we have written in first point. Second point, what did we understand? That only and only if the land is in India. So therefore, agriculture done outside India, it is going to be taxable. However, this is taxable only for, because non-resident foreign income, we cannot take tax in. These are not new points. We are only summarizing what we have already studied. And of course, in the first point, what have we studied? Revenue will be the exempt only. Revenue requires no explanation. If I have done farming and the land is in India, it is going to be exempt. But you should also understand, rent of landlord also exempt if the tenant is a, then landlord will also get the exemption. If the tenant is a farmer, then landlord will also get the exemption. Ye clear hai, everyone? So we have in the first 3 points only summarized what we have studied in the main sentence. Main sentence remains this: agriculture income is the most important income of your entire chapter, exempt income. This is the biggest of all. Just like in residential status, individual residential status is the biggest of all. This chapter mein, this part is the biggest part, and there are total 7-8 points to be noted. I have only completed the first 3, and first 3 I have also completed in the main theory here. It's only a summary. So rent or revenue, both. Final summary: rent or revenue, both, provided land is in India and used for agriculture, which can be only basic or basic plus advanced, but only advanced is not agriculture. Ye clear hai? Now let's go to additional points which are over and above what we have studied. Supposingly there is a company doing agriculture. Company can also have agriculture income, no? Revenue from land in India used for agriculture. Therefore, Obviously exempt. We are assuming that the three parts that we have written above, the conditions are fulfilled. Will the income be exempt? Yes. My question is, now this company has distributed dividend to its shareholder. Is this dividend going to be considered as agriculture? You understand the question first. It is an open house. Everyone will be permitted to participate. If you want to participate, you want to give your opinion. If you have basic common sense and you want to show that you have common sense, I will give opportunity to anybody who wants to speak. But first understand the question. Company will distribute profit to shareholders. Distribution of profit to shareholders is called dividend. Is this agriculture? Think about it as a shareholder. You have purchased shares. Once you purchase shares, then the activities will be done by the company, and the activity done by the company here is agriculture, and therefore income of the company is, the company on its profit is not paying tax. That is very clear. Now from those profits I will get share. That share is called, is this agriculture? Your answer will decide what, if you say yes, this is agriculture, that means the dividend will be exempt. And if it is not agriculture, then the dividend will be taxable. Do you understand the effect of your answer? Think about it and give me the answer. Is this agriculture? If yes, so exempt. If no, so taxable. Question is clear? Yes, please. Try. Yeah. Yeah, priority is life. No. Happy? Now try.
They are going to invest in agriculture. So it's an income from agriculture.
And therefore it should be. That is one opinion. Anybody else wants to say anything else? Taxable. Give reason, no?
Shareholders, the profits will invest.
Anybody invest for profits. That can't be the reason.
Whatever maybe the activity of the company, they are getting considered and collecting dividends.
Income will come only when they are getting dividend, no? So it should be taxable. Why? See, you don't think about taxable exempt. You think about, is it agriculture or not agriculture? That answer will automatically decide, not taxable or exempt. If your answer is agriculture, then automatically the answer is exempt. If your answer is no, it is not agriculture, then it will be taxable.
And now the revenue generated from agriculture.
What's your answer? You are giving explanation without giving answer. How will I understand? Agriculture hai. Now explain why.
And now the revenue which is generated is through agriculture process. So the profits or the dividend
Of the company are from agriculture. Go ahead. And only that profit is being distributed, so it should be agriculture. So excellent. Excellent. Wrong answer.
So the company may be
Again, you are explaining. First, give the answer. No. Taxable. Why?
company may not be earning profit from the taxes. It may be investing in other companies. So profits which is aggregated. So it is paying out of.
I like the way you thought. That company may be having other activities also. And dividend distributed is from overall profit. So it may not be only agriculture which is being distributed. So for the shareholder perspective, it should be non-agriculture. But for a moment, if I say assume that the company is doing only agriculture, then what's your answer? Let us assume. See, you may be right in what you are saying, which is a possibility. I agree. But what if supposingly the company is doing only agriculture? Then what's your answer? Still it is taxable. Then why? When the company is doing other activities, there may be some non-agriculture profit. But if company is doing only agriculture, then the full profit is agriculture only, no? Then why? But so you have to say this at the beginning, that the shareholder is not performing any basic operation. Any activity can be called agriculture when you are performing. Listen, do you know one thing? That identity of company and shareholder is different. Separate legal entity. So shareholder is only making investment. Once the investment is made, shareholder forget about performing operations. You can't even take the day-to-day decisions despite being the owner of the company. Today, I have got no right to tell Adani that you should sell Wilmar or no. Despite being owner. Adani wants to, Adani is selling his stake in Wilmar. Earlier, he was supposed to sell 13%, 13 no, 18%. He is now selling 20% stake in Wilmar. Wilmar is down by 8-9% today. I have to stop checking. Just when you are confident about your stock market performance, China invents a new virus. Bro, you never know. Today we are in class, tomorrow we might have to just sit online and complete our batch. China hai after all. Why don't they eat normal roti sabji? I don't understand. Anything on the planet they want to eat. Living, non-living, anything they want to eat. They'll eat aliens also. You have aliens in your class also. In order for any activity to be called agriculture, you have to be performing agriculture. And shareholder are separate entity. They are not performing that. See, partnership firm mein probably the answer would have been different. Because partnership firm mein, your identity is same. Firm is performing agriculture, matlab partner only has to do agriculture. But in a company, shareholder is only making investment. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, is this agriculture? No, this is not agriculture. Therefore, for the shareholder, it is going to be taxable. You understood? Yes, I do agree that the profit being distributed is from only agriculture. See, you said about other activities. If we assume also there is no other activity and there is only agriculture profit, that is only distributed. But shareholder is not doing that agriculture. Shareholder is only making investment. This is investment income. This is dividend cannot be agriculture. What is agriculture? Rent or revenue? Rent or revenue? Rent or revenue? Dividend is not agriculture. You understood? Fantastic. If you really understood that, then somewhere in my explanation of point 4, I have actually also explained to you point 5. There is a partnership firm or LLP doing agriculture. So first question, is the income of the firm, is the income of the LLP going to be exempt? And let us assume only one activity. Is this exempt? Yes. Now what happened? Now the firm, or also it can be LLP, has made distribution. They will make distribution to whom? Partners. Two types of things are distributed every partnership firm. One, every partnership firm gives share of profit to its partner. Every firm gives share of profit. Correct? Please understand. This share of profit that the partner is receiving is going to be always exempt. Whether agriculture or not agriculture, because the firm has already paid tax. While explaining the definition of person, I have already told you. Means supposingly this firm was not doing agriculture, no. Still this would have been exempt because firm has already paid tax. So, to be very honest, we should not be wasting our time in discussing whether this is agriculture. Supposingly the answer is no, not agriculture. Still it is exempt. Because firm has already paid tax. Share of profit, there is another upcoming section. Share of profit received by partner from firm will always be exempt because the firm has. So I will not waste time in discussing, sir, is this agriculture? Sir, even if you don't call it agriculture, it will remain exempt because the firm has paid tax. My question is about the second type of distribution. Every partner from his firm gets payment in the form of interest for the funds that the partner has given. Come on, you've spent your life doing all this. Partnership account was a part, I think, of your 12th standard syllabus also. Plus, it was there in foundation. Plus, is it there in Interca? Because Interca accounts, so many chapters they have removed. Advanced accounting, so they have removed only as a subject altogether. We had two accounts in Inter, accounts and advanced accounting. So they have kept only one, and now that also is majorly in the nature of standard. But in days you all don't have. So you all are learning only accounting standards. Institute is playing a game with you. Right now they are forcing you to learn AS. You come to CA final, then they will tell you, no, now no AS, now in day. So why are you teaching? Same thing will happen in costing. Here they will teach you, costing is over.
Yes.
Overhead costing, BOH upon BLA, BOH upon prime hour, machine hour method, prime cost method, output method. Final may you'll come in this and no, overhead costing is not the correct method of costing. You should follow something called activity based costing. So why are you teaching? ABC, activity based. Allocate on the basis of activity that is performed and not on blanket machine hour or labor hour. And I hope you are not wondering how I know prime cost method, CA hai bro. All this you remember, concepts you remember. So you spent your life learning interest. And there is one more thing. To active partners, we also pay something called remuneration. Remuneration is a very big word. It covers salary, bonus, commission. Multiple words will be covered in one word, remuneration. Now, please understand, on this interest and remuneration, firm have not paid tax. First of all, you will have to understand with the simple understanding of profit and loss account of a partnership firm. Is this the share of profit? Has the firm paid tax? So for the partner, it is always exempt, whether you do agriculture or you are not doing agriculture, it is exempt. My question now is with respect to the remuneration and the interest that is being paid. That remuneration and interest which the firm is paying to its partner will be recorded as an expense in the profit and loss. By recording that expense, we will reduce our profit. That means, can I say the firm has not paid tax on this amount, in fact taken deduction, reduced this amount in the profit? So normally partners have to pay tax on these amounts. Supposingly I remove agriculture from my discussion, so these incomes are taxable. Why, sir? Because on this firm has paid tax. We will give you exemption only because firm has paid tax. A firm has paid tax only on the share of profit. Firm has not paid tax on remuneration and interest. So normal partnership firms, this is exempt, this is taxable, this is exempt, this is taxable, this is exempt, this is taxable. Agriculture partnership firm, this will still remain exempt because firm has paid tax. What about this? Is this agriculture? Because if you say this is agriculture, then the taxable income will become exempt. Share of profit was never taxable, it was exempt, we did not waste our time. But is remuneration and interest in normal partnership firm taxable? Yes, because on that firm has not paid tax. Are you understanding the logic here? Firm has paid tax on share of profit. So that will remain exempt in all firms, agriculture or non-agriculture. Firm has not paid tax on remuneration and interest. So normal partnership firm, that is going to be taxable. But if the partnership firm is doing agriculture, then will you consider this as agriculture? Because if your answer is yes, so this will also become exempt. Last time we discussed about distribution by a company. Our answer there was not agriculture, therefore taxable. What is your answer here? Why? Sir, variety hona chahiye. There we said no, so here we should say yes. That's the logic. Your partner will be performing the operations. So yes, this is agriculture, and yes, therefore it is going to be exempt. Yes, it is agriculture. Yes, it is going to be exempt. So distribution by a company is not agriculture, but distribution by firm is going to be agriculture. Is that clear, everyone? Chalo, fantastic. Next, some years ago there was an amendment. There was controversy about whether this is agriculture, this is not agriculture. Even today, you and me, if we sit and discuss, we can debate. Okay, sir, this is agriculture or this is not agriculture. But government brought a statement which is favorable for the taxpayer. Means as a citizen who is paying tax, you will be happy. And once we are happy, nobody will raise objection. See, who is suffering loss if we give a tax benefit in the law? Government. If they are suffering loss and they are okay with it, supposingly I tell you 4 hour lecture, I'll give you 45-minute break. Supposingly, I tell you that in a 4 hour lecture, I will give you 45-minute break. So you will have no objection. So then we will not debate whether it is logical to give such a big break or illogical. Then there is no discussion. Supposingly, I tell you that to miss the cover up the number of days that we have missed, if we keep double session, instead of 4 hours, we start keeping 8 hours without break. Then there will be discussion. That's our name. And in the prospectus, while taking admission, directly you will come to that only, sir. Agreement wala part. Sir, in the prospectus, while taking admission, you said, sir, 8 hours means half an hour break. My standard rule is 3 hours, no break, 3.5 hours, 5 minutes, 4 hours, 10 minutes. For every half an hour, 5 minutes will increase after 3 hours. And I think except the first day, where we actually studied no theory, I think almost all other days I did give you a break. एक ही दिया. Totally I have had how many lectures? 5 lectures. First you don't count. The remaining 4, 1 तो I gave you, no? ठीक है ना? Whenever we will feel that it is very, very heavy theory, we will take a break. Don't worry. But the best part is, and I'm not saying this to say good things about myself, but students, thousands of students I have taught, they only come and tell me, sir, in your lecture, where time goes, we don't realize. And some of you all are nodding your heads in agreement. So, matlab, you agree with this. So, where the time will go, we will not realize. I know now your reaction. Okay. So, this is a measure that was favorable for taxpayer. And because it was favorable for taxpayer, now you and me will not sit and discuss, sir, it is logical or illogical. If you want, write this line somewhere. On the last page of your notebook or somewhere at the top or anywhere for general knowledge of income tax law, for general knowledge. Anything that is in favor of taxpayer is always logical. Always logical. Don't ever try to find out, sir, this is unfair benefit. No, sir, nothing is unfair. We are getting benefit now. If we are getting benefit, nothing is unfair. If we were suffering, then we will find it unfair. We are getting benefit. The benefit introduced was any income that is being generated from seedlings and saplings in a nursery will be considered as agriculture, and therefore the nursery owners will be getting exemption. Sir, one word has got multiple meanings. Of course, I know your generation is that other meaning, double meaning wala generation. You all understand that other meaning faster. But here I am talking about the meaning of the word nursery. One nursery is the wheels on the bus go round and round, round. The wipers on the bus go swish. You all have heard these. During the lockdown, my first son ka first birthday was like peak lockdown. April 2020 was his first birthday. April 19 mein he was born. So we celebrated that first birthday in the lockdown. And that's when he started watching YouTube on the smart TV. And full day, Coco Melon. And believe me, my brother, myself, full day, because we were also at home. And so much of exposure to nursery rhymes on YouTube that we, bathroom singers, while taking bath in the bathroom, believe me, we were singing Ek Mota Hathi Ghumne. Kaha, once upon a time, I used to sing Shah Rukh ka romantic songs while taking bath, and just imagine me singing the wipers on the bus go swish. This is not that nursery. This nursery is a place which is going to grow something called seedling and sapling. Sir, what is a seedling and sapling? If you want to start agriculture completely fresh, then what kind of fertilizer you require, what kind of seeds you require, you may not be very good at it. We are living in the era of ready-made stuff. So what a nursery is going to do is put the seeds, put the manure, the fertilizer, everything, and give you a ready-made crop of small size. Now all you have to do is bring that crop and regularly only expose it to the required sunlight and water. For example, there is this plant called belpatra, bilipatra or belpatra, what people call bel. That is that leaf which we always every Monday on the shivling we put it along with milk. Belpatra, you should be aware of that. So there are nurseries which will give you the ready-made crop. Everything is put, the seeds are put, everything is put. You just have to keep it near your window or balcony and make sure that at least twice a day or thrice a day you are putting water. The crop will grow on its own. But you have to be very careful about that sunlight wala part. If that sunlight is not given, that crop will go off completely. So basically they are performing that ready-made activity. Your activity is now restricted to water and sunlight. And sunlight also you don't have to generate and give. Bro, sunlight comes automatically. You just have to give water and place it at a place where it gets exposure to sunlight. So your activity is that way limited. Do you understand? Major role is being played by the nursery. And because major role is played by the nursery, government suddenly, few years ago, they just brought an amendment in this section in the definition of agriculture. They said that this is going to be considered as. Now with this, every nursery owner is going to get tax exemption. Why will they protest? It is still debatable. Sir, ultimately they are not taking care of the crop lifetime. Once they have done that activity, they are giving it to us. But then they have done that activity. We can sit and debate, sir, is this agriculture or not agriculture? But the point is it favorable to the taxpayer? So remember this line, anything that is favorable to taxpayer, do not search about logic or logical or illogical. It is always logical. When can anything become illogical? When the person who is affected because of it raises an objection. Now here comes that break wala example. Not giving break in 8 hours ka lecture. If you don't raise an objection to that, that will also become logical. But if you raise an objection, yes, then a third party will come and say, bro, this is illogical. How can you not give break in 8 hours? If you don't protest, now if I say 4 hours, no 45 minutes break, so you will not protest. And once you don't protest, it is logical. I am not going to give that break. It is only an example. But do you understand? The wrong is wrong only if someone says it is wrong. If no one says anything, even the wrong becomes right. And when it is a taxpayer friendly measure, everything is right only. Nobody is going to object. And with this, whether it is logical or illogical, nurseries are going to get their tax exemption. For those of you all who don't know, I say it again, there are these places, these shops where you can actually go and buy ready-made crops which are known as seedlings and saplings. You just have to give water and sunlight and automatically it can get converted into a full-fledged tree also. What kind of crop you want? For better explanation, you can go to the nearby nursery. You can actually Google this nursery near me, but make sure it is not that that nursery. You make sure you are specific that which nursery you are looking for. Okay. We don't say, sir, one day let us keep a site visit how it works for practical knowledge of taxation. Bro, students will have to travel from Chennai and Kerala. No. You visit your local nursery and share the images. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, next. There is a concept called a scheme of partial integration in agriculture income. That nursery ka part is clear, no? Scheme of partial integration. General knowledge ke liye I am asking. How many people did not take maths in 12th standard? Because maths is optional in 12th boards. So non-maths, fantastic. Then foundation, acha, TY BCom, directly graduate. Foundation. Then suddenly maths came on. Derivatives, integration. Hey Bhagwan. Derivatives, integration. Fantastic. The best people are those who are direct entry students. So 12th mein don't take maths. Clear your graduation without maths. First year BCom mein maths comes, by the way, but the level is ridiculously low. 12th ka maths is more difficult than what kind of syllabus they have made. I don't understand. But first year ka maths is less difficult compared to 12th ka maths. And then whichever professional degree you go for, whether CA, CS, any degree, foundation level will have maths. From intermediate level, you have only arithmetic. So you don't have derivatives and integration. You don't have trigonometry. You don't have geometry. You don't even have algebra. You only have basic arithmetic. This is again not that integration. This is something else. This is to target those people who have massive agriculture income. See, your agriculture income 1 crore or 1000 crore, it is still going to be exempt only. Just imagine me having 0 agriculture income and 10 lakh taxable income. So I will pay tax on 10 lakh. You having 10 lakh taxable income and 1000 crore agriculture income, but that 1000 will be considered 0 in income tax. So ultimately taxable will be 10 lakh only. So my taxable income is also 10 lakh. Your taxable income is also 10 lakh. And therefore both of us will be paying tax of the same amount. Because taxable income mein that 1000 crore is not coming. But do you realize your tax paying capacity is higher than mine? Because while exempt, but still you have 1000 crores income in the form of agriculture. Government cannot tax that agriculture. Constitutional problem. Can the government tax the 10 lakh rupees that you have earned at a rate that they have only decided? What they will do is that 10 lakh taxable income ka tax rate, for you, they will put a higher rate because you are also taking exemption of agriculture. So what they are going to do is, they are going to change the rate of your taxable income if you have agriculture income. See, they can't touch agriculture. They don't have the right to touch agriculture. But other income they can touch. And what rate will apply on the other income? That is their decision. No? My income, your income is coming at 10 lakh. But then do you understand? You also have the benefit of free agriculture income. So your taxable income rate will be different. If you have agriculture income, we will not tax that. But your taxable income will be taxed at higher rate. Is partial integration. But ladies and gentlemen, you are not in a position to learn this concept right now. Once I finish with you the chapter called tax rates. So lots and lots of time from somewhere near completion of your syllabus. Second last lecture, just before we do TDS ka chapter. After we finish tax rates, we will do our alternate minimum tax. All those chapters related to tax, no? If we finish that, just before starting TDS ka chapter, we will be doing this concept called partial integration. At that time, I will teach you. Right now, you will not understand. Okay? And unless and until you know tax rates, how will you know what is the meaning of lower rate or higher rate? So wait for that. And assume, just like if I ask you, have I taught you tax rates? No. So have I taught you scheme of partial integration? No, I have explained the meaning to it, meaning attached to it, that taxable income ka rate will be higher. But wait for tax rates chapter, then only you will understand. And this brings us to the last point of agriculture income, the concept of composite income. What is this concept? Well, understand the concept. Only the meaning. Calculation part will go to it. Supposingly, I grow a product by performing agriculture operations. Is my income agriculture income? I have done all activities on the farm. Basic or with advance. Basic plus advance is agriculture. Is my income exempt from tax? Yes. What I do is, now I am not selling this product. I take this product in a factory and use it as a raw material from another product. And that new product which I have grown in the factory, that I am selling it in the open market. Is that possible? My one sentence question is it possible that my agriculture product is simply raw material for my industrial product? And therefore I am earning income from my industrial product by selling it. But does that total profit involve some agriculture activity also? That means I have done an activity which is a combination of agriculture and business. And my total profit includes profit from agriculture and profit from business. Let me give you some examples so you'll understand it better. Supposingly, I grow tea leaves. Tea leaves are grown in that farmland, tea plantation. Assam, Darjeeling, they are famous for manufacture of tea. Is that completely agriculture activity? I sell those tea leaves. By the way, they are green in color. They are leaves, no? At home, you say chai patti, but do you know there is no patti in that? That's a yellow color powder because those tea leaves are taken in a factory and converted into tea powder. What you put in your utensil at home is not chai patti, no bro. There is no patti in that. Did you ever check? It's a black color powder. There was no leaf. Red label tea. Huh? This is, my generation is that way, not the Instagram generation. My generation is the Facebook generation. But of course, Facebook now has all the uncles and aunties 50 plus. So I don't know when was I last time active on Facebook. Yes, but Instagram and Facebook are linked with each other. So anything you put on Instagram automatically goes on Facebook. That's my only activity on Facebook. But then Facebook has this concept called Facebook memories. So anything that you had put 10 years ago on this day, what did I post on Facebook 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Bro, it shows me memories of 15 years ago. And bro, it's a classic case of showing yourself the mirror that what a big dash you were once upon a time. What nonsense. But as an immature kid, we used to write so many nonsense things. So I, recently happened to go through that memory during my CA final exams. And I had written this on Facebook, status update, we call it now, that the makers of Ceridon is a big headache ka medicine. Your generation also consumes this or something new has come? Dolozid. Ceridon, headache ka medicine. Red label tea. Since years, the tea ka brand which is coming to my house is Red Label tea. And abhi to I am still a tea addict, but then during exam days, it was, don't be surprised, but it was nothing less than 30 to 40 cups of tea. Continuous caffeine intake, matlab no food, only tea. वो श्री राम हनुमान जी का वो श्री bro, if I do that, you'll find tea only. So the makers of Ceridon Red Label tea should actually pay some royalty to ICAI because ICAI contributes to increase in their sales. Headache, tea powder. This is what I had put. And my friends. Abhi, see, in English, it sounds sophisticated. My rascal friends. Hindi mein use somehow it becomes offensive. Hindi mein we call them haram. Sorry for the language. They comment, and my parents were also active on Facebook, so they can read the comments. My friend comments, Sid, you forgot to put a comma between Red Label and tea. Oh, bro. Meaning ka change you understood or not? He is commenting, you forgot to put a comma here. Ceridon, Red Label, and tea. Bro. Hitesh, na? देख थोड़ा थोड़ा I remember. Beta, you are too young and too cute to understand this. Believe me, this is beyond you. If you have not understood what happened, what just happened, so it's okay. You have my respect. But did you understand? Jhota. So now forget that now. Focus on this. The person who has grown this in a farmland, if you directly sell this, that's only agriculture, fully exempt. Supposingly company is making only this, matlab buying this from the farmer, then manufacturing this in the factory and selling this, it is only business. Company is not doing any operation, fully taxable. So if these two people are different, exempt, taxable, exempt, taxable. But what if the same organization has done both activities? First grown the tea leaves in the farm, then transported the tea leaves in the factory, then grown the tea powder in the manufacture the tea powder in the factory, and then sell the tea powder from the packets from the factory. Then start to end to end, all activities are being done by one person, and there will be one figure of profit. But do you realize that profit includes some profit from this activity and some profit from this? This concept, composite income, basically requires us to segregate our profit into these two parts. For obvious reasons, the part of profit to the extent of agriculture activity will be exempt, and the part of profit to the extent of business activity will be. Did you understand this? When one person is doing both activities, then we will have to apply the concept of composite income and separate it into two parts, the taxable part and the exempt part. Did you understand this? Okay, let me give you a couple of examples for better understanding. You should know this. Sugarcane grows in the farms. We call them ganne ka khet. Sugarcane is grown in the farm. So you can sell the sugarcane, fully agriculture. But this sugarcane will be transported to a factory. You should know this also. Sugar is not a farm product. Sugar is a factory product. It is extracted from sugarcane. And of course, after sugar is extracted from sugarcane, the sugarcane ka waste is also very useful. Bro, for what? What is that called? Molasses. What is that being used for? Or what is that used to manufacture what? Champion first bench. I have never seen this kind of first bench in so many years. In one voice, all four of them shouted, alcohol. This is called experience. Of learning, this is taught to you in class. No, somewhere it must have been taught and you are giving the answer. Experience of learning in class. Alcohol. Coordination. क्या है? क्या बोल? I said coordination. Superb coordination. हाँ तो guys, sugar is also a factory product and the molasses used to manufacture alcohol also. That activity of manufacture of alcohol does not happen in farms. So that is also factory activity. So if one person is doing this, fully exempt, other person doing this, fully taxable. But what if I have sugarcane farms, I grow the sugarcane, I take it to the factory, I convert it into sugar, then I sell the sugar, then I will have to divide my profit. Yes. And by the way, one more thing I want to make it clear, that making this is not an advanced operation. So what is advanced operation? This is my farm product, but it is not sellable. So I cut the extra part out of it. You know, in sugarcane also, you have to make it a little soft. It is very rough once plucked from the farm. So that is making it sellable. Sugarcane will remain sugarcane, but here the identity is changing. It is a different product which is grown in the factory. That is composite activity, requires division into agriculture part and business part. For obvious reasons, agriculture part will be exempt and business part will be taxable. Last example, which will make everything clear. I know by now you've already understood, but one more example. Tomatoes. Acha. Farm product. Bro, if you are growing tomatoes and selling them, so agriculture. Tomatoes का what was that? अच्छा, that was जिंदगी ना मिलेगी. Tomatino Festival. नहीं. That re-release recently was ये जवानी है. Oh, believe me, bro, Bollywood is going to such a bad time. This is the era of bankruptcy in Bollywood. कल होना हो re-released. कहो ना प्यारे is releasing again today. Karan Arjun re-released. ये जवानी है दीवानी. And in the coming few, and they are performing better than the new movies. And in the coming few days, you are going to see a lot of old Bollywood. Now, how to call it old? Bro, my childhood has gone, like 25 years of Kaho Na Pyar Hai. 20 years of Kalo now, either Dhak Dhak happens, bro. 20 years, matlab, that was a movie which I saw as a child. So today, yes, today marks 25 years of Kaho Na Pyar Hai. Hrithik Roshan ka debut. Hrithik Roshan, bro, Bollywood actor, right? It's okay. I understand that you don't follow Bollywood, but Hrithik everyone does because of he's good in everything: acting, dance, looks. Good looking actors are very few. Good actor, not good looking or not a good dancer, but he is he just has all the characteristics. Bro, his wife also left him. Look wise, dance moves, acting wise, prosperity plus a family legacy. His family is, one of the big families of Bollywood. His grandfather was a producer, his father a big producer director, his uncle one of the biggest music directors, but his wife also left him. So, guys, if you feel that she said no to you without any reason, bro, it's okay. Matlab, you make yourself so capable that you don't have to approach her. Her only, no, bro. Him mein to interest. Just asking. Hey, just asking. ऐसे, just asking. If she said no to you, it's okay. Make yourself so capable that you actually don't have to approach. She has to come in. She, confirm. So tomato grown in farm, sold from the farm, fully agriculture, fully exempt. But if taken to the factory, you already said it. नहीं तो otherwise normally no. And wherever I have gujus in any batch, so the first thing they say is sir sauce. Sauce. See, they don't say sauce, they say sauce. But ketchup. Now, supposingly company Kisan, for example, is manufacturing only ketchup, buying tomatoes ready-made and manufacturing ketchup, fully business, fully taxable. But if same company is doing both activities, then now do you understand the total profit here is a combo of agriculture and business. We will have to segregate the total profit into agriculture and business. The agriculture part obviously is going to be exempt. The business part is going to be. This is what we have to do. One figure of profit has to be divided, separated, segregated, split into agriculture part, which is exempt, and this is what we have to do. What do we have to do? Divide our profit into agriculture and business. Now, what is the next question? If this is what we have to do, the next question is how? What is the question? Divide your profit into agriculture and business. Second question is how? How to do it? The answer to this question is given in something called income tax rules. And for the next few minutes, I will have to go off topic. When I say off topic, it does not mean that we are going to have a musical session here. Sir, off topic to. पास आइए कि हम नहीं आए नहीं करते. Who was that guitarist? Somewhere here only. A pianist. तो है किधर? You are here. Where is the piano? My son has that small वो kids वाला जो piano है. If you say so, that is the only thing that will fit in my band. Because you are not bringing up it, decide only. Bro, our lives are so stressed. No, we need relaxation at regular intervals. And if you are ready to play the piano, I can, every 1 hour we can take a 5 minutes. 4 hours mein reasonably. 15 I'll probably give. So 15 ka 20 also is fine. To bring tomorrow. Now, if she does not bring, so you don't get. She is the reason why you don't get the break. Blame her for everything. ठीक है. When I say off topic means outside agriculture but within income tax. We are all learning the Income Tax Act. But other than Income Tax Act, we also have something called income tax rules. The act is the answer to this question, and the rules are the answer to this question. See, act is going to be made by parliament. Government proposes the sections in the parliament and it is passed as resolution by the parliament. But parliament cannot be involved in day-to-day implementation of any law. In fact, Companies Act, parliament has created the Companies Act, but for day-to-day implementation there is a department. Likewise, income tax law has been created by the parliament. Parliament, for example, has said everyone has to file income tax return. But that is what? What do I have to do? File income tax return. Sir, how to do it? There will be a website where you will make your account user ID and password. In that you will log in. In that you will choose which form is applicable to you. Then you will enter your income calculation, which we are learning in TTI. You will enter your tax calculation, which we will learn after income is over. Then you have to put the submit button. Then you will get OTP. OTP, you understand? One-time password. On your mobile number, you have to enter that OTP. That process is not the job of parliament. Parliament's job is to enact a law. But day-to-day implementation of the law, parliament cannot be doing that. And therefore, we have an income tax department. But department ka job is also execution. Who is going to make the rules of those execution? In our country, we have a body called CBDT, that is the Central Board of. How do you know this? Guess kiya. I have told you. When? Somewhere I must have told you. CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, is the. Acha, I must have told you this. Father, daddy, papa, abbu, achan, appa, pops, ATM. So worldwide fathers play the role of ATM. ATM, anytime money. Of the income tax department. Sir, why? Sir, once CBDT makes a rule, every officer from top to bottom, senior most officer of income tax department is chief commissioner. Junior most officer is inspector. That's a big hierarchy. Chief commissioner, commissioner, additional commissioner, joint commissioner, deputy commissioner, assistant commissioner, income tax officer, tax recovery officer, inspector. Long hierarchy. Will come in detail, of course, in the CA finance syllabus. Every officer has to listen to, comply with every instruction given by CBDT. Officers cannot protest because once the father says something, children have to listen. And if I told you about CBDT, then I must have told you that in your generation it is the other way around. But this was 1961. In that generation, once the father said something, was final for the children. I must have definitely told you that I never spoke to my father by looking into his eyes. And my father never spent time in the same room as my grandfather. Because those generations were different. Bro, these days, I am playing the role of a father. So I know that these days, fathers are scared. Bro, the moment I reach home, he comes and hits me. Why have you come so late? Then I have to make it clear, bro, I am the father. Just in case it is not clear to you. And he hits me when I hit him too. Why should I unnecessarily? You hit me, your mother hits me, your grandmother hits me. Why? I hit him. See, other to his mother, his grandmother, I cannot hit them back. But him I can. Soft target. He hits me when I hit him too. Simple. With interest. Generations have changed. Income tax law is still the 1961 law. And once CBDT makes any rule, any circular, any notification, any instruction, all officers have to comply with. We in technical language call it binding on the officers. Officers cannot protest. And it is CBDT who does day-to-day implementation of the income tax law by making something called income tax rules. So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, the question what will be answered by the parliament by making sections, but the question how will be answered by CBDT by making rules. I'll come to the agriculture part after some time. First, let me talk about some other things. For example, the Act says, section 139. I will delete all this because later I am going to teach you in other chapter. Section 139. Act says, file your return. But that's it. Full stop. If you are a company, if you are a firm, if you are individual having income above basic exemption. I explain the meaning of basic exemption, that 250 wala figure. You have to file your return. Now CBDT made income tax rules under which CBDT said, this is our website. On this website, you have to create an account. Your user ID will be your PAN, permanent account number. Password you can create and of course keep it secret. Then when you log in, you will get various options. You have to put the submit button and your return will be submitted. The day-to-day operation ka rules are made by CBDT. That is IT rules. Act has told us what you have to do. Rules will tell you how to do. Let me give you one more example. The Act said that if you have PAN and you have Aadhaar, you have to link them with each other. Your PAN and Aadhaar have to be linked. But that's it. Full stop. PAN has to be linked with Aadhaar. They have given me the activity. But sir, what do you mean by link? What exactly do you mean by link? That I should take a photocopy of PAN, Aadhaar both and keep them in the same file. Is that linking? So how to do it? Tell me now. Then CBDT made rules that in that same income tax website, you log in, you will get a taskbar, a button where you have to click with your mouse, link PAN and Aadhaar. If you click that link, then you have to enter name as per PAN, name as per Aadhaar. Then you will get one-time password on your Aadhaar registered mobile number. All other numbers are linked with a mobile number. Enter that password and your PAN and Aadhaar will be linked. The procedure was given by CBDT. Act only said link PAN and Aadhaar. So Act believes in talking less. This is the pre-ante era. Believe me, in the pre-ante era till Jetli ji in the Act, they used to write very little. And day-to-day implementation, etc. was always written in the rules. Since auntie has become finance minister, so you can say now it's been 6 years. Since auntie has become finance minister, she talks too much. So everything she writes in the Act. Everything is written in the Act itself. But of course, the earlier rules, for example, composite income, the Act only said segregate into agriculture and business. Agriculture part will be and business part will be. And how to do it? CBDT has made rules, income tax rules. So normally, rules are not a part of your exam study. But there are certain places where rules are asked in exam. So whichever place rules are asked in exam, those places we will be doing. And one such place is this. CBDT has laid down rules for dividing. I must tell you this also now that I have discussed so much. So we have one Income Tax Act and we have one income tax rules. Act will tell you what to do. Rules will tell you. So whatever we have discussed now, I am summarizing. Act will be made by Parliament. Rules will be made by. And most important, one thing you must know, that Act is always going to be considered as main legislation, the main law. The rules will be considered as subordinate legislation. So whatever I have discussed, in case there is, you should be answering this, in case there is any conflict between Act and rules, then what will prevail? The Act will prevail over the rules. The Act is always going to be considered as superior. Superior, the main law. Generally, there is no conflict, no contradiction. But in case there is, Act will override the rules. So now we come back to the, so this was the off-topic discussion. Now we come back to the agriculture part. We are doing an activity which is a composite activity of agriculture and business, and we have one total profit figure. which we have to separate into agriculture and business. That's our activity. The answer to the question what. Now second question is, sir, how? How, sir, income tax rule? And who has made the rules? CBDT. CBDT has made Rule 7, which is a general rule, under which CBDT has given formula for doing this. Everyone is clear what we are supposed to do? That how can answer from income tax rules, just like Act has section 1, section 2, section 3, in IT rules which CBDT makes, we have rule number 1, rule number 2, rule number 3. In rule number 7, they have given answer to division of agriculture and business from the total amount. Rule number 7. Who has made this rule? CBDT. CBDT says the FMV, you all know the full form of FMV? Fair market value. Are you aware of this? If not, then write the full. But you should be aware. The fair market value of the product that is transferred from farm to factory. The fair market value of the product that is transferred from farm to factory will be considered as selling price in agriculture and cost price in business. Selling price in agriculture and cost price in business is the rule. Sir, bouncer. Okay, forget the rule. Let us understand with the help of an example. I am in my farm growing a product called sugarcane. So obviously there will be some cultivation cost of sugarcane. The cost of cultivating this sugarcane is 8 lakh rupees. On this day, when I have my sugarcane ready with me, I have two options. Option 1, I immediately sell this sugarcane and my entire activity will be agriculture. Option 2, I transfer this sugarcane to the factory where I am going to grow sugar out of it. So obviously that means I am performing more activities. That means there will be some factory cost, some manufacturing cost that I am going to incur in the, that will be rupees 7 lakh. Now which of the two options I should choose? For this, I have a chapter in costing called joint products and byproducts. Joint products, byproducts, costing. One process is over. We have the product called sugarcane. Sell this product here is an option, or further process and sell the other. So for that, what do? We check this extra process that we are doing. What is the extra revenue and what is the extra cost? If the additional revenue exceeds the additional cost, that means this activity will result in more profits and it is advisable to make this. Supposing the cost is higher, then it is advisable to sell the product at the split off point. You've studied these formulas. You are wondering how I know this? Thank you. So listen, for that I will have to tell you that if I sell the product only at the sugarcane level, what is my expected price? And then if I actually manufacture the sugar, what is my actual selling price? The day when my sugarcane was ready, I could have sold it on that day itself. On that day, the fair market value of my sugarcane was 10 lakh. This is a very, very important amount in the entire data. I can sell the sugarcane at this 10 lakh itself. But I decide not to sell this sugarcane because I have taken it to the factory. For that, I have incurred extra cost of, and now I have which product with me? Sugar. So what will be my selling price of sugar? Obviously, because sugarcane is gone. Now I have sugar. I have sold this for 25 lakh. So first of all, let us decide whether manufacturing this sugar was a good decision. If I would have sold it here, my profit would have been 2 lakh only. But I incurred extra cost of 7 lakh, and with that I got extra selling price of, extra is only 15, no 10 I was getting earlier also. So if I ask you what is the increase in my sales value, that is 15. The additional sales 15, additional cost 7, with which the overall profit will increase by 15 minus 7. Extra selling price and extra selling price minus extra cost price is the increase in profit. So earlier I was getting profit of 2, but now I will get more profit of 8, and the total profit will become, let's see if my total profit is actually 10. Everyone agrees that this transaction I have not done only. So the transactions that I have actually done are what? Sales of 25 minus factory cost of 7 and minus farm cost of 8. Have I earned 10 lakh ka profit? You agree with this? Now this profit I will have to segregate into how much is agriculture and how much is business, because the agriculture portion is going to be exempt and the business portion is going to be. First, identify what are the activity specific costs. Which cost I have incurred where? For example, cost of 8 lakh I have incurred where? Here only. So it has got nothing to do with the factory. And cost of 7 I have incurred here only. Nothing to do with farm. As far as my selling price is concerned, that I have only at one place. In factory only. In farm I have no selling price because I had taken my entire product to the factory. So my selling price is 25 here. Now here is where this FMV, the most important figure in the story, will come into picture. CBDT in the rule says the fair market value of the product which is transferred from farm to factory. How much is that in our example? 10 lakh. Do one thing, take that as selling price in agriculture. Means make that selling price here. And this same amount also make it cost. The selling price here is FMV and the cost here. This 10 lakh is going to play double role. It will become selling price under agriculture and cost price under business. Accordingly, here you get profit of sale minus cost 2 and here you get sale minus 25 minus 70. This is your profit here. This is your profit here. Have we effectively segregated our profit into agriculture and business? And with that, for that, we are using this figure of fair market value. This fair market value will play double role. In factory, it will become cost price, and in farm, it will become selling price. Farm mein selling price, factory mein it will become cost price. It will play double role. Is the rule laid down by CBDT? That's the law, you can say. Lekin what is the law, Jake? Nothing is bigger than logic. Don't just study what is the law, also study why. Fantastic. Let's focus on the why part, because the real fun is knowing that. Law mein answer, see, our task was divide 10 lakh into agriculture and business. We have done that. For that, we are using as per rule, we are using. For every question, I have one answer. It is written in the law. But why, we will discuss. As per rule, take that fair market value as a double roll amount. Take that as selling price in farm, cost price in factory. Now, what is the logic? First, imagine yourself as this person. First, you understand, first you have to incur cost. And apply this as principle in your daily life also. First, you have to give something, then you will get. Exams, business, relations. If you are not ready to give, don't expect anything. If I request you that study tax for 8 hours and you readily agree, yes sir. If you are ready to give, then you can expect in return, okay, good break. Wherever you go in life, be ready to give first. Believe me, whenever I actually negotiate with any new organization where I want to work with, or where the organization approaches me, I don't tell them that you have to pay me this much. No. My conditions are, I put huge efforts in books and videos. So books and videos will go under my name and my logo. If that is not acceptable, we can't have the meeting also. Because you don't have the moral right of putting your name on my book. I am spending months and months every year. What is your contribution? Sir, as far as taking the batch is concerned, pay me whatever you want. Don't pay me anything. I am not going to ask for anything. Because I know that in the second batch, you have to pay me whatever I ask. First, let me give something, no? To reach a position where I can demand something. Let me first contribute something. If I don't contribute anything, I will not deserve anything. You understand? So first we go and incur cost in our farm. How much is that cost? 8 lakh. And I have a product which is sugarcane. Product is sugarcane. Product is not 10. I have a product which is sugarcane. Imagine I sell that sugarcane at the prevailing market price, that is 10. Actually, you have sold it. Sold it. What is your factory profit? What is your farm profit? 2 lakh. Agriculture 2 lakh, 2 lakh, 2 lakh. You've sold your sugarcane. But suddenly it strikes you, I want sugar. So again purchase that sugarcane at 10 only and take it to the factory. So that 10 lakh becomes purchase price of raw material for your factory. So you have to imagine that you have sold your sugarcane in the market from the farm and repurchased it from the market at the same price for your factory. And thus the FMV will play double role. It will become selling price under agriculture, farm, and cost price under. You understand?
Yes.
And rest of it is very simple because the specific cost and specific sales we have written on. You just have to imagine that I actually sold it and I repurchased. So while I am actually not doing the transaction, that fair market value will be considered as selling price and cost price. So it will cancel itself. So in the total amount, it will remain a 10 lakh profit, but we are successfully splitting our profit into agriculture and business. Is that understood? Or there's one more logic. I told you to close your eyes and imagine that you have sold the sugarcane. But do we all realize that actually we have not sold the sugarcane?
Yes.
I have actually used that sugarcane for making. Listen if you understand this part of economics. That by deciding to manufacture sugar, I have also decided to lose 10 lakh, forego 10 lakh. If I avoid this manufacturing, I will get 10 lakh rupees. So that 10 lakh becomes an opportunity cost of this activity. This activity means loss of 10 lakh. So make that cost here. But to make that cost here, then your total profit will not match. No, total profit is 10 lakh. So if you are minusing it here, also add it here. So that plus and minus remains same. Everyone agrees that 10 lakh is opportunity cost of manufacturing sugar. So we are considering that in our segregation system. And now you can actually read the rule again and see if you are now understanding. First time when I wrote this rule, fair market value of the product transferred from farm to factory is selling price, cost price. You did not understand anything. Then in the example you understood, but you wanted logic. Now you understood the logic. First way, maybe you understood logic. Imagine that sold and repurchased. Or second way, imagine it is opportunity cost. And this is how we have segregated our 10 lakh into 2 lakh and 8 lakh. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your general rule. First of all, are we clear about the following things? Sir, what is composite income? When one person is doing end-to-end activity of agriculture and business, it is composite income. What do we have to do with that composite income? Segregate it, divided into two parts. That is agriculture and business. That is what? How to do it? The answer is given by CBDT in the income tax rules, for which the general rule is rule number 7, under which, as per which, what do you have to do? Take fair market value of the product from farm to factory, and imagine that you have sold it in the farm and purchased it in the factory. So that fair market value will play double role: selling price in agriculture, cost price under business, and will help you in segregating your profit into agriculture and business. Everyone clear? But now observe this formula carefully. Example is also in front of you. And please try to tell me a controversy, a problem that will happen every time we want to do this. Understand my question peacefully, because this is not an easy question. You have to really put some pressure on your brain. And normally in CA final batches, I do, sometimes make a statement like this, that if you answer this question correctly, I will take you on a date today. But Inter ka kids, that also half my age, I don't know whether it is appropriate. Vese, if your thinking is not correct, then you will find it inappropriate. I go out on a date with my mother also. Love does not happen only in one way. Bro, you think inappropriately, that is your problem. We can always have a healthy bond and healthy relation, and if you think positive, but I don't want to get into that these days. You can't. Gen Z culture hai, I can't. So simple hai. First you answer, then I will decide what gift I have to give you. First answer. I hope you are not thinking nahi, nahi, ek baar sir batana exactly what we will get. So accordingly we will try and attempt the question. If it merits taking you out on a date someday, some other question, I will give that option also. Today no such option. Today my question is, for implementation of rule number 7 in practical life. Rule number 7 is very logical. Everyone understands. Imagine sold and repurchased. There cannot be anything more logical than this. It completely makes sense. Everyone has understood because it is logical. But for practical implementation of rule number 7, there will be some difficulty. Rule 7 cannot be implemented very, very smoothly in day-to-day life. There will be some trouble, some problem, some fight, some controversy. What will be that fight? What will be that trouble, that controversy, which will affect implementation of rule number 7 is my question. Think. Who is answering? Raise your hand and answer so that I understand.
Agricultural products prices are always fluctuating.
Okay. Okay, but we can take that decision. If one of the students in the class is saying that agriculture products ka value fluctuates, so we can take that day when you transferred from farm to factory. Someone was saying something here. Who are you? Who was that Pakistan team ka captain? Babar Azam? Nahi. Sarfaraz. My answer also same, no difference. That you've seen that video of Sarfaraz? An interviewer asked a question to Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli replied in his fluent English, and same question was asked to Sarfaraz, and because he was not, so he just said, my answer also same, no difference. Same matlab what? Keeps on changing. That's your thing. Anybody else has anything else? Even if it keeps on changing, there is still some problem. What is that problem? Good. Very good. It is not always possible that product is a marketable or sellable product. It may or may not have a market. Not everything can be sold in the open market. So there are certain farm products which are only manufactured as a raw material. Okay, I appreciate this. For a moment, if we assume that it has a market, it is a product which has a market. Sugarcane to has a market. Let's stick to this example. Still there is problem. Does not have a market, so it's a big problem. But if it has a market, still there is a problem. Identify that problem. Matlab, you have gone one level beyond my expectation. Good, I did not give any offer. But you still don't have, I still have not received that answer which I am looking for. But appreciate it. No, consumable may or may not be, but if it has a market, there will be market price. And we are assuming that it has a market. So whether you don't consume cotton. So everything may not be a consumable. Anything else? Come on. Try karo, let it be wrong.
Factory people will try to negotiate.
But factory is mine only. Whom are you negotiating with? Yourself. Mirror के सामने. नहीं 10 नहीं. नहीं.
जिसके पास फार्म नहीं है, मतलब खाली फैक्ट्री है, तो जिसका फार्म है उसके साथ वो इलीगल रिलेशन बना के
illegal transaction, not illegal relation. Bro, what are you speaking?
उसका कॉस्ट वो ऐसे भी डिक्रीज कर
ठीक है. You are assuming that separate owner of farm and factory, but they are trying to show it as a partnership or something and trying to manipulate. Same person. See, my example of composite income is a person genuinely doing both activities. So it is you who is no illegal relation. You are growing the sugar cane, you are growing the sugar, both activities honestly done by you. Then your example does not work. In simple day-to-day life also it is difficult. Why? Okay, as a hint, I would like to tell you that the first two students who attempted it, Shruti and Pratik, actually were almost right. You made one small mistake. So if you want, you can try it again, or if the other people remember their answers, you can try using their answer as a base. Their answer was almost right with a small mistake. Not a mistake, but not a thing that they have thought of. क्या cost?
एग्रीकल्चर के जो भी प्रोडक्ट होते हैं वो नीचे होते हैं.
हाँ.
कॉस्ट वो नीचे नहीं होगा तो सेम ही रेट होगा.
हाँ.
तो फिर अगर लॉस पीटी का कुछ है एग्रीकल्चर का अमाउंट
Cost नहीं, fair market value related problem.
She want to say if the cost is more than fair market value,
If the cost is higher than fair market value, of course it will be a loss. Yes. So, how is that a problem? So no problem. Supposingly fair market value was 7 lakh. So agriculture will show loss of 1 lakh and business will show profit of 11 lakh. So pay tax on 11. So total mein to it will remain 11 minus 1 equal to 10 only. No, the net amount does not change. You basically who said, what's your name? अच्छा वो चीनू चीकू चीकू. धीरे धीरे तो मेमोरीज आर कमिंग बैक. क्या था? चीनू चीकू चीनू चीपू एंड चीबू. चीबू चीनू चीकू. हाँ. When you said that the fair market value is lower than cost, fair market value is lower than cost, you are basically doing what every assessing officer is doing. Taking this as a lower price. What will happen by taking this as lower price? Less agriculture, more business. You understand this double rule? The fair market value taken decides agriculture and business. Higher the fair market value, higher will be the agriculture part and lower the business. And you said fair market value is very low, lower than cost also. That means you are doing what an officer likes to do. Less FMV means less agriculture. More business, more taxable. Officer will like it. Now think about it. What will assessee like to do? Think about it. Always show higher fair market value. The question is, the problem is, the controversy is how to derive this. What do you mean by fair market? See, you all said, two students in the class did say, sir, FMV keeps on changing. But on that particular day, supposingly it has not changed. Then also what value will you take? As a taxpayer, see if you understand this statement. As a taxpayer, I will always want to take more and more fair market value. Because higher fair market value means more amount will go under agriculture exempt. And as an officer, you will want to take lesser amount of. Do you understand the problem issue here? You understand this, right? How to decide this fair market? It's a big problem. I will say 10 lakh. Officer will say, no, 7 lakh. Then fight a court case with him. And for years and years, court cases go. Income tax may we do fight court cases. There are cases that people are fighting against the income tax department in a court of law. Officer is representing the department and chartered accountant is representing the assessee, and they are fighting a case against each other. And years, there is no answer. Everyone agrees that the rule is excellent. If common sense is the criteria, if logic is what we want, then this is the best answer. Because this fair market value, you imagine that actually at that market price, you will sell from farm and repurchase for factory. But determination of this fair market value is going to create practical difficulties. I repeat, assessee will always want higher fair market value to book more under agriculture, and officer AO will always want to take lower fair market value to book more under business, that is taxable. How to determine this? It's a big problem and will result in lots and lots of court cases. Yes, we agree that this is logical, but wherever logic will create problems in income tax law, very important concept I am teaching you. Wherever logic, this is the first place that I am teaching you. This will happen many times in your syllabus. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this is still the beginning of your income tax law. Your real income tax law actually will start with heads of. This is after this chapter immediately. Exempt income will get over in a couple of lectures and we will be learning heads of income for the full month. So, multiple places in your syllabus, you will come across this concept, the concept of notional values. Notional means random values, estimated values, no logic, but a fixed, rigid answer. See, logic, of course, lots and lots of logic. But logic is coming along with controversy. So, whenever there will be controversy, to reduce litigation, income tax will adopt a safe approach. And the safe approach is, let's give estimated figures. Your total profit will be this much percentage agriculture, this much percentage business. Just take your profit, apply these percentages. Sir, is there any logic in this percentage? No. But will there be any controversy? No. Because everyone has to apply this percentage. Now there is no fight, sir. Higher market price or lower market price. This is the split. Logic, we all love. But if logic creates trouble, we have to leave the logic and go to places where we get the proper answer. So if we give fixed percentages in advance, whether officer or assessee, everyone has to adopt these percentages. Whether they are giving a higher amount or lower amount, none of your business. You have to apply. There won't be fight. Is it logical, sir? No, it is not logical because they have given random values. Is it logical? No. But you understand, if we are able to solve a problem of fights, court cases, disputes, being able to solve disputes and reduction of litigation. Too much of heavy language? Litigation means fights, court cases. If we are able to reduce litigation, that itself is logic. And do you agree about one thing, that if I give you percentages in advance, just apply these random percentages. For example, 75% will be treated as agriculture, 25% will be treated as business. It may not be logical, but it will definitely put a rest to litigation, fights, court cases. And that much is good enough. And one more thing I must tell you, that wherever they adopt this notional policy, listen to this carefully, the percentages that they adopt will always be taxpayer friendly. Supposingly, we have to divide into agriculture and business. Supposingly 100 is my profit. If I keep the bigger percentage here, anything more than 50, that means out of total profit, we are considering more as agriculture and less as business. That means we are taking tax on a lower amount. So assessee will never have a problem. When will any assessee have a problem? Think about it. When we take tax on the higher amount. But under notional, not just here, throughout your syllabus, the notional answers are going to be very, very taxpayer friendly in a way that they will eliminate fights, litigation, court cases forever. So whether you find them logical or no, this is how we will be doing. But the notional values have been given only for selected industries. This rule is not going anywhere. You have to follow the general rule always, except the 3 industries where they have given notional percentages. Only in 3 industries they have given segregation into agriculture and business. And one common feature is that in all the cases the agriculture component is going to be higher. They are going to consider more amount as agriculture and less amount as business. Only in 3 industries. So first, for tea business. One more time I would like to remind you, if I am only growing the tea leaves, the tea plantation, it will be fully agriculture. If I am only growing the tea powder, it will be fully business. But if I am doing both, the total profit is from tea business. 60% will be considered as agriculture. 40% will be considered as. Now understand how notional value is solving my problem. 1 lakh profit from tea business. Pay tax on 40,000. Story over. Whether assessee or AO, both of them will have one answer, only 40,000. If we are told to determine fair market value, assessee will make it higher because he wants more under farm. AO will make it lower because he wants more under factory, and that will result in court case. Yes, is rule 7 the most logical of all? Yes, it is the most logical of all. Is rule 7 bringing maximum common sense to the table? Yes, but if common sense is creating fight, so we have to leave common sense and do random percentages. And the logic of these random percentages is, we are doing it taxpayer friendly. Higher amount is exempt, and they will stop all kinds of fights because both assessee and officer will derive one answer. That's the logic of notional value. So in tea business, 60% will be agriculture, 40% will be business. Next, rubber industry. You must know that rubber is also a farm product. We call them rubber plantations. If that rubber is sold as it is, so it is fully agriculture, fully exempt. But the rubber grown in farms is actually transported to factories and used for a wide range of products which are rubber products. For example, tires. They are made of rubber. Your erasers, you call them rubber. That is not rubber, is the raw material. It is an eraser. Just in case you are not aware. That rubber band which we have to tie our note bundles is a band made of rubber. Those red color balls with which we play cricket, I still have no bloody idea why in our childhood we used to call it rubbery ball. We used to call it that. It's a rubber ball. But those days in our childhood, for example, if one rubber ball was 10 rupees, tennis ball used to be like 30-40 rupees. And the 10 rupees ka rubber ball also, we used to be 10 friends playing together on a Sunday, everyone paying 1 rupee for the ball. That's how we used to contribute. If anyone hits the ball anywhere, that person's responsibility to climb that building's pipe. And if you don't know, then now new ball ka full money you will have to give. Sometime that batsman who had hit the ball used to argue, no, the ball was too slow or too easy. The bowler is also responsible, but ultimately that person was responsible. Now today we probably have money to buy packets and packets of the ball, but no time to play. In my housing society, there is a cricket turf. Every morning there are time allocated, like legends. People of 45 and above will be playing between 6:30 to 7:30. Men cricket will be 7:30 to 8:30, and 8:30 to 9:30 will be volleyball. The time slots are allocated by the society. Every morning, like literally, there are 3-4 people who want to play cricket every day. But and the group has got 100 plus members in that cricket group, but nobody is coming down to play also. And when we become members of that cricket group, there is some annual charge, some 1,000 rupees we have to pay annually. With that, they buy balls because the turf is open. Once hit, the ball goes outside. In the next building, the ball is gone. Use the new ball. Right next to my building, there is this area owned by Tata Power. So high voltage wires over there. You can't even enter that area. Gone. Believe me, every day, roughly 10 to 15 balls. And if you count that normal rate of 30 rupees also, so 500 rupees per day ka ball ka cost. And except the monsoon ka 4 months, because it is open, we can't play. Rest of the year, every day ka cost of the cricket group is this much, which they are recovering from membership. But we still don't have people to play. So we have grown up from that culture of playing with those red rubber balls, and we play with those soft tennis balls now. But once upon a time, there was, believe me, no money to buy that rubber ball. That ball is, now at this age we realize rubber ball. No bloody idea even today why we used to call it rubbery ball. You all used to call the same? Rubber as a product, and these are only examples, whether the rubber band or the tire or the erasers. Rubber can be used in lots and lots of industry. You may not be aware, but something as simple as your TV or your AC or washing machine or your fridge, it has some parts which are made of rubber. That, for example, fridge ka door which closes, that place where that hinge where the door shuts, that portion is made of rubber. Inside the AC ka compressor, you will find rubber because of its properties. So rubber as a plantation, it's a farm product, but once converted into a different product like eraser or rubber band or ball, it becomes a different product. Now, can there be one person doing both activities? Where will we sit and find out the fair market value? Very difficult. 65% will be exempt, 35% will be taxable. Random, notional, ad hoc percentages without any logic. Sir, where is logic? Rule number 7. Take fair market value as selling price in farm and cost price in factory. Where is logic? This is where there is logic. Sir, but is logic creating trouble? To end that trouble by taking illogical, notional, random percentages. The only logic behind these percentages is that they will put all fights to an end. That much is good enough. Ye clear hai? And the third and the last industry, coffee. Only tea, coffee, rubber are the 3 industries where they have given. Means, let me be clear about one before I tell you the percentages in coffee. Are we going to delete or abolish Rule 7 because finding FMV is difficult? No, it is going to be here. Tomato ketchup, we will be doing this only. Sugar cane and sugar, we will be doing this only. Anything other than tea, coffee, rubber will be in Rule 7. Anything other than tea, coffee, rubber will always be a part of
7.
Rule 7. Only 3 industries, because government assumed that one person doing end-to-end activity generally happens only in these 3. That same person is growing the farm product and also manufacturing the factory product. Generally, you will not see the ketchup making company actually having tomato farms. Generally, you will not see any sugar company having sugar company. Maharashtra is famous for production of sugar. Baramati district of Maharashtra. Classic case of IYKY. Some poor farmers from Baramati district of Maharashtra. No? You still didn't understand? Okay, one last try. Baramati che kaka. Acha, okay, okay. You do one thing. You find out who is the owner of all sugar mills, sugar factories in Baramati district of Maharashtra. Who is the biggest sugar manufacturer? I have not taken any political name. You are responsible. I have not taken any name. You find out. Generally, you will not see the sugarcane maker making sugar or the ketchup maker making the tomatoes. Generally, you will see in these industries. So, for these industries, because there is more controversy, we are giving percentages. For other industries, other than tea, coffee, rubber, we still have to follow Rule 7, fair market value. But for these industries, we are giving you random percentages. Tea, 60-40, rubber, 65-35. Coffee is divided into two parts. See, coffee, the first activity that you do is, coffee has to be grown and cured. You grow the coffee and you cure the coffee. So, the coffee plantations ka coffee brought to the factory and converted into something called coffee beans. Tea may we call them leaves, coffee may we call them beans. Okay. So, major activity happened in the farm. Major activity is farm. Factory may you have only converted from the plantation to the beans. But coffee as a product, after being grown and cured, you actually can do various activities. You know, only those who are real coffee lovers. Any real coffee lover? No? Kiddos. Bro, real men drink tea. if you are a tea lover and you are ready to share a cup of tea with me, I already have a crush on you. Tea is for real men, bro. Coffee is for kids, believe me. There are coffee chains which have their slogans, a lot can happen over coffee, which I think CCD. Lot can happen. No, bro, nothing happens over coffee. Whatever happens, it happens over tea. Coffee is for kids. But those who are coffee lovers, but once in a while, everything is fine, bro. Everything is fine. Tea, coffee, or once in a while, within a limit, everything is, or rubber, bro. Wait. Once in a while, within a limit, everything is fine. You should be knowing that coffee comes in various flavors. There is something called roasted coffee. For that, you need to perform additional activities. There's something called grounded coffee or grinded coffee. Yes, there is flavored coffee. You know, hazelnut flavor coffee or walnut flavor coffee. Use chocolate flavor, strawberry flavor ka coffee beans come. Gee, believe me, that was my reaction also. We are living in an era where somebody is making fusion food, cheese burst vada pav. Bro, let the vada pav remain vada pav. I see people make cheese burst vada pav. In the name of fusion food they call it, mixed. Bro, that way, so you put curd in Maggie and eat, no? Dahi wala Maggie. So you should know this. In coffee, these additional activities are possible. What kind of additional activities? Roasted coffee. Grinded or grounded. See, ICAI sometimes in exams uses the word grinded and sometimes they use the word grounded. Mixing of flavors. Whether you call it tea or anything. There is strawberry flavor coffee bean available in the market. There is hazelnut flavor. Hazelnut theek hai, but strawberry. See, that depends on a personal choice. No? See, like hazelnut theek hai, but strawberry is not. There are people who love chocolate flavor ka coffee. Choice. Okay. There are some who prefer only Starbucks cup of coffee. And there are some who don't like that coffee only because of the price tag. Well, that same coffee I get and and that roadside ka stall ka coffee tastes also better. That is 25 rupees and this is 250 rupees or maybe 450 rupees. 10 times, 20 times. But matter of choice, no bro. Matter of choice. I like Deepika ji, that is my choice. You may like Rakhi Sawant, that is your choice. Everyone has. And democracy hai, we all have the freedom of having choices. Saying a yes or no is okay, but I am just telling you that these are the options available. And the moment you do these additional activities, so your duty in exam is to search for these words. If the question says only grown cured, then your breakup will be 75-25. But the moment the question adds any one of these three words, they say coffee grown, cured, and roasted. Coffee grown and flavored. The moment you see any of these words, means factory activity has increased. And thus, factory ka percentage will increase, agriculture ka percentage will reduce. If it is only grown and cured, then it will be 75-25. But any one of the three words used, roasting, grounding, flavoring, then it will be 60-40. In tea and rubber, there is only one common answer, 60-40, 65-35. Observe, notional basis created to remove fights, litigation. Is it controversial? No. FMV was logical, but was controversial. And here we are taking more amount in exempt. Do you realize in all the cases, more than 50% is exempt? So no taxpayer will ever have an objection. And believe me, in reality, if 100 is your profit, so your business activity actually will be more than this. But you are still paying tax on a lower amount. So everyone is happily paying tax on that lower amount. And that's how segregation will be done. For specific industries, there are specific percentages, and for all other industries. So sugarcane, tomato, they will all come in this rule. Notional percentages are prescribed only for tea, coffee, rubber. Notional percentages given only for three industries. Is that clear, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Deviyo, Sajjano and Mitro, with this we complete our chapter exempt income. Nash. With this we get done with section 10.1, the first and the biggest part of exempt income. Quick recap, rent or revenue, both will be exempt, provided land is in India and used for agricultural purposes. Rent or revenue from land in India used for agriculture purposes, then it is going to be exempt. You correct hai? Everyone? Okay. Outside India will be taxable for resident. Agriculture can be only basic or basic plus advanced, only advanced will be taxable. Rent or revenue, both will be exempt. Companies doing agriculture, so companies income exempt, but dividend will be taxable. Firm doing agriculture, so firm's income exempt, partners income also exempt. Share of profit always exempt, but the other payments also exempt. Seedling and sapling always agriculture, therefore exempt. Scheme of partial integration, I said we will do later, and composite income segregation we have completed. Is that clear, everyone? All right. Be in your seats at 2:25 sharp, please. Sharp, huh? 2:25. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us go ahead. We are doing a chapter called exempt income. We are done with the first and the biggest of all, that is agriculture income. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, matlab you don't have that expectation that, sir, this took so much time, so everything will take so much time. For example, the next section will get over. Matlab section is same, the next clause, and you now know the difference between subsection and clause. In one line, it will get over. Share of profit received by member from HUF will be fully exempt. And why, sir? Because HUF is a person, taxpayer, assessee, and HUF has already paid tax. Because HUF has already paid tax, for the member it is going to be exempt. Share of profit received by member from HUF is going to be exempt. Khatam. Finished. Only this much. And we know about this since the time we have studied the definition of person. Person. In which HUF, I told you the reason HUF will have many members. We can't run behind individual member. So we take tax from the family, and for the member it will be exempt. Likewise, you are also aware of the next thing. Section 10 clause 2A. Share of profit received by, guess, received by partnership firm, received by partner from firm or LLP. Why? Because firm has already paid tax. Understood? So share of profit is exempt in both these cases. I think these three incomes, agriculture income, share of profit of HUF ka member, and share of profit of firm's partner, we actually in writing we are doing it today, but in oral discussion we have completed it before also. So yes, these three incomes, there won't be any tax. Next, this we have not studied before. Section 10(4). If you earn any interest on NRE account, NRE stands for non-resident external account. Any interest earned on NRE account is going to be fully exempt. Interest on NRE account is going to be fully exempt if. Sir, what do you mean by if? Oh, translators. What do you mean by if? What did you say, agar? If means there are conditions. If means this exemption will be granted to you only if you fulfill the. That means if you do not satisfy the condition, the income is going to be taxable. Interest on NRE account is interest and income that you are earning. It is going to be exempt from tax. Matlab, we will not take any tax on this income if you are a resident outside India as per a law called FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. It's a part of your law syllabus, and I believe law syllabus you have completed. Oh, thank God you have completed. First FM, then law. Oh, bro, I now fear now taking one day also off for one reason or the other. By the way, any other syllabus is left? DT is left. Thank you for letting me know. Bro, if I take, supposingly there is an emergency, if I take a break, then somebody else will take away all my slots. हाँ तो ठीक है. So you have completed your law syllabus. You have to be. By the way, residential status as per income tax is different from resident, non-resident as per FEMA. You have to be resident outside India as per FEMA, or alternatively, you have been permitted by RBI to open such account. You have been permitted by RBI to open this account called NRE account, then your interest will be exempt. So any one of the two conditions, you understand the word used is or. In English, or means any one of them. Permitted by RBI or non-resident, resident outside India as per FEMA, non-resident in India. So now why? What is the logic? What is the logic? For that I have to tell you the background of this. Section is over. Law is over. Now I will start with the logic. Non-residents, people of Indian origin who are not living in India anymore, they have migrated to a foreign country, making their money in that foreign country. In India also have their bank accounts. The bank accounts which non-residents operate in India are of two types. One is NRE account, that is non-resident external account. And there is one more account called NRO account, that is non-resident ordinary account. Non-residents operate two types of accounts in India, NRE, NRO. And on this account also you will earn interest. That interest is going to be Because at the outset, we clearly told you that exemption is only for that NRE account. NRE account. So NRO account will be taxable. NRE account will be exempt. Sir, now what is NRO, NRE? A simple Google search can give all these answers, but I know your laziness. So let me only tell you that a non-resident will earn two types of incomes: Indian income and foreign income. That person is already shifted outside India. So major source of income will be foreign income. At the same time, we'll be having some investments in India like property, so generating rent, or shares and debentures generating dividend and interest. That will be domestic income. So basically, non-resident is getting income from two sources, Indian and foreign. First question, which of them is taxable? Indian is taxable because non-resident foreign income does not come in scope. Correct? Hai? So your Indian income will be deposited in your non-resident ordinary account. Supposingly, I am buying property from a non-resident. So is that income going to be taxable for him? Properties in India, of course. Is that income deemed to be Indian income? Yes. So that income will be taxable in India. So I will deposit the money in the NRO account. I am paying rent, dividend, etc. to any non-resident in India. I will deposit all those incomes in NRO. NRO account will be created to credit all those incomes which are Indian incomes, taxable in India, and therefore the interest also is taxable. Correct? At the same time, this non-resident is sitting in a foreign country and is earning income over there in that foreign country. That is his foreign income. First question, can our government tax it? No. And then of course, interest also cannot be taxable on that bank account. But problem is that some people go outside India for a limited period. You know, main objective of a lot of people is that go to a foreign country, make money in foreign currency, make money in dollars. Of course, cost of living is also very, very high. There you have to always clean your houses, whether it is COVID or no COVID. And therefore, these foreign countries have invented things like dishwashers and washing machines and all that, because otherwise everything you have to do by your own self. You don't get maids so easily like you get in India. So they go there only for limited time. And plus there is no jet spray. See, I don't know about you, but I miss it every time I am outside India. The only thing that I miss from India is this. अब जो fact है वो है, believe me. So they plan to come back to India after few years. You know, my friend here, Suraj, who is attending from Kochi. Kochi, no? No, Joel is from Kochi. Suraj is from Chennai. Oh, both of you are from Kochi? Kochi. Joel also Kochi? Acha, very good. I'll tell you what is the Malayali culture. Do not make money in India. If you want to make, you know, it's a thought process over there in the Malayalis that if you are desirous of making money in India, that means you are taking away money of your own brothers and sisters. You are greedy. They will dislike you. An ordinary Malayan, believe me, they don't know a single Hindi word. They don't understand. They don't even know who are Salman and Shah Rukh. They only know Rajnikant and Mohan. Their target is take your education, go to Dubai or Kuwait or any of these Gulf countries, make massive money in a few years, and then either open a South Indian restaurant there only. Go to any of these Asian countries, and you'll go to Dubai, you'll go to Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia. In all these countries, the South Indian restaurants are owned by Malayalis. In Dubai, South Indian restaurants are owned by Malayalis. Mumbai ka fast food they are selling, and they speak better Hindi than Mumbaians. In India, they don't speak in Hindi. In Dubai, they speak in Hindi. They believe in making money there and bringing that money. So they spend a few years there and bring that money. Of course, once you are used to staying with that kind of infrastructure, very rarely you will see Indians coming back. But post-COVID, the culture has changed. A lot of people now don't want to stay away from their family. Dubai is still okay because, you know, believe me, in 3 hours you can come. From my in-laws stay in Kolkata. 3 hours flight. Mumbai to Kolkata. Bro, it is faster to reach Islamabad from Mumbai. From Mumbai, Islamabad is closer than Kolkata. From Kolkata, Dhaka is closer than Mumbai. Kolkata, in any case, very soon is going to be a part of Bangladesh, very few Indians left there. 90% are Bangladeshis. Main proper city Kolkata still has some Indians. Outside of Kolkata, West Bengal is completely Bangladeshis, illegal immigrants. So, lot of people, one of my friends, we were together in CA Inter. In fact, full CA ka education we did together. In fact, her brother was my first paid student. I was confused. I wanted to be in teaching. I had already started teaching when I was studying for CA final. But my parents were not in support of this. They were like, it is, we are Marwadis. How do we tell people in our community that our son is a professor? Does not sound good. We Marwadis believe in business, this. So, but it's about you do what you like and automatically you are going to be good at it. If you do what you don't like, if you do what you are not good at it, the product is Rahul Gandhi. His family should have allowed him to do stand-up comedy or something. Believe me, he would have done really good at it. He is really good at it. He does not even need to speak. He just comes and smiles. Is enough comedy. So, against my family ka wish, I decided to enter into teaching. So, her father, my friend's father, qualified chartered accountant, he was also a judge in income tax appellate tribunal. And therefore, being friends with her involved a lot of perquisites. For example, if we wanted to go to Siddhivinayak temple, so huge queue over there. Uncle used to call that kids are coming. The managing trustee used to come out to receive us. We had huge privileges because we were friends. By the way, I did not become friends with her because her father was very, very influential. I didn't even know. We used to attend the same class in CA Inter just like you guys are attending. And like all, in CA Inter batch only you will make friends. In CA final, human beings don't come. They are only dead bodies. 7 to 10, by the time they come back to life, it is time to go to articles to become a dead body again. So most people don't even talk to each other unless they were together in Inter. And CA Inter breaks friendships also because after this CA Inter exam, foundation no one fail. If you don't clear foundation, you should think about whether you should do once in a while. Just for example, June 25 was a very difficult foundation exam. Yeah, before that they did not give anybody marks in law, or one attempt before that they did not give anybody marks in maths. You did not clear only because of that one paper. Otherwise your performance was good. So that's bad luck. But if multiple times you have not cleared CA foundation, then you should probably think about it whether you should continue or no, because it is going to get more and more difficult. So ordinarily 12th standard syllabus 80% is foundation, 80-90%. So foundation clearing is very easy. So students who have been friends from school days, college days, 11, 12, they were together. Foundation also they clear together. CA Inter is the last time they are together. Because after this is the game-changing exam. I have told you this before also. Some will stay behind, some will go ahead. Some have already gone ahead before you. They will wait there for you. They are waiting for you to join. Believe me, it happens after CA Inter. Some have stayed behind. You go ahead, you clear, they are behind. But at the next level, you wait and wait for them to come back. CA Inter changes all the dynamics. And by the way, even if you clear no together, your articleship will be different places. Even if you work in the same firm, it may not be the same department. One is at client's place, other is in office. You may not get to meet these friends again. And this is the last time you actually make friends in CA. GMCS, of course, etc. Those things, IT, OT, OC courses, IT course, OC course that you do. There will be some friends over there also. But that's the last chance. After CA final, you won't be making friends. So we became friends in class only. CA Inter ka class. I don't even know or remember where my CA friend, who were my CA final ka classmates. But my Inter group is even today my closest friends ka group, other than my building group, of course. So we became very good friends. Then normally we asked, no, what does your father do? Then one day she told, we asked each other, what does your father do? He is a judge in IT. It was the right decision to be friends with you. Very influential, very, very influential. So I approached uncle, uncle, I don't know what to do. I am confused. Should I enter the teaching profession? He said, it's a very, very noble profession. But if you do this, focus only on this. You can't be to please your family doing a job and a practice also, and then doing this also. You can't be sailing in multiple boats. You need to have the patience that teaching me for the first few years, you will not earn a single rupee. Because why will anybody take admission? I know you are good. Okay, teach my son. We had cleared CA final. My friend's younger brother just entered final. Teach him. He is very, very indisciplined. So if I send him to coaching classes, he may not study properly over there. At least you come home and teach, because you are at that time, you don't have too many choices. You have to go home and teach. I go home and teach even today. But you calculate fees of one student, multiply by 100 students. And one person pays that fees of 100 students. And I do. But those days were different. Those days you had to take up whatever work you get. Will teach him, you come and teach him in front of me so that I have the satisfaction and you will also get your experience. This is how you have to start, with zero expectation. So there are some people who want to make money here. There are some people who want to go and try something in a foreign country, make money, come back. So this friend of mine, she got married, she settled in America. We actually gave a proper farewell party to her because one of our closest friends. And post-COVID, she decided to come back to Mumbai. Well, very difficult to stay away from the family. We were for a moment thinking that what if we die over there, we will not be able to see each other last time also. I said everything is fine. It was logical for you to come back because we also missed you. But that farewell party ka cost that we had divided amongst the other friends. Now together we gave her a farewell and a very good place. Because she is the reason why the group accumulates. Even today, if all of us have to come at one place, she is the one who will call everyone individually. That kuch bhi ho jaye, you have to keep yourself available on this particular day. So I said, any reimbursement or anything possible? So now Indians ka mentality, earlier they used to go and never come back, but now they do come back. Now what will happen is, you work in America for 10 years and you accumulate some wealth there. At the end of 10th year, you decide to permanently migrate to India and come to India with all the money. So you are taking away huge amount from America. Their government will have a problem in allowing you to take away that money. They will not let you take that money so easily because it's a huge amount. Or alternatively, there is one more option. Every year you earn, little amount you save, send it to India. Little amount you save, send it. Small amounts you are sending on a year-on-year basis. Because the amounts will be small, government will not have too much of problem. So at the end of 10 years, you've sent decent amount back here. You can probably come back and peacefully stay. So government of India is happy. Why? You are not coming here, but still every year you are sending some money. And with this, there is probability of you also coming back one time. And for this reason, government grants you a facility called NRE account. That non-residents will maintain an account in India to accumulate their foreign incomes. External account. Just imagine you are staying in Dubai. Every year your income in Dubai is being sent in that Indian account. NRE account, NRE account. Matlab, we are having an Indian account for collecting your foreign income. So that at the end of 10 years, when you want to suddenly come back, you already have safe capital in India. If you try to bring that together, even Dubai ka Sheikh will have a problem. Is the logic behind providing facility of NRE. So is that account in India? But if we start taxing you on that account in India, so you will not be maintaining that account. And therefore, any amount that you get in your NRE account will be not taxable on the understanding that this is accumulation of foreign income. And then the interest also on that will not be taxable. As against this, what is NRO account? An account that you have opened to deposit your domestic local Indian incomes. So are those incomes taxable even if you are staying abroad? And that interest also is going to be taxable. In summary, NRE account is to deposit foreign income of non-resident. Income is also not taxable. and the interest is also not taxable. Income does not come in scope only, and interest is exempt. An NRO account will be for depositing your domestic incomes. The incomes will also be taxable, and the interest will also be taxable. I had to actually tell you what is NRE account and why is government allowing somebody who is staying abroad to maintain an account here for those incomes, so that you can peacefully bring those incomes here. You can, small amounts you can repatriate, but massive amount if you try to bring to India, then that foreign government may probably create some trouble for you. And therefore, we want to give you a facility of accumulating your foreign income in small amounts in India with the help of an account called NRE account. Everyone understood? Fantastic. Condition also clear. Resident outside India as per FEMA or permitted by RBI. Next. Section 10(6). So yes, 10(5) we will learn in salary. 10(7) we will learn in salary. I had told you that in this chapter I will be doing limited clauses of section 10 because major part of section 10 will come in other chapters. Section 10(6). Tax exemption that we are giving to non-citizens. People who are citizens of some foreign country, they are not a citizen of India. They have some exemptions in 10(6). Now, 10(6) as a section, if you go and read in the Income Tax Act, it is section 10, clause 6. Income of someone who is not a citizen of India will be exempt. Which incomes? Following income. So they have given like this: 1, 2, 3. We call them subclause. Section 10, clause 6, subclause 1. Because they are independent of each other. Sir, are we supposed to learn subclause number? Bro, you first learn clause number. Sir, are we supposed to learn clause? Bro, you first learn section number. So let me first put this answer to rest forever. It is okay to not learn section numbers. And don't be surprised, I say this to CA final students also. It is okay to not learn section numbers. Don't be surprised. Let me complete. Not writing section number is okay, but writing wrong section is absolutely not okay. If you don't remember, just write as per Income Tax Act. If you remember exempt income is section 10, you can write exempt under, under section ka short form, under section 10. You don't have to write this also. Forget about this subclause number. And this I tell CA final students also, because too many laws they have to study. Abhi section 10 of Income Tax Law is different from section 10 of Contract Act, is different from section 10 of Customs Act, is different from the GST wala law. Every law, it is a different section. So poor guys always get confused. Exemptions in income tax is some other section, exemption in GST is some other section. Now that GST is going on parallelly, you also have idea that there are some transactions which are exempt from GST. So you get confused. By mistake, it is possible that GST ka exemption section you write here, or section 10 you write as exempt GST in your indirect tax. Better, if you are not 100% sure, don't. Which does not mean that, okay sir, so from today I will not learn. Obviously, we have the common sense of doing chapter wise analysis. A chapter like business profession capital gains, you have to learn. But otherwise, in general, it is okay to not learn section numbers. But under no circumstance, you will be writing a wrong section number in exam. Am I clear on this? Okay. Now, please understand, because these subclauses are independent of each other, in any case, you have to learn them one by one, but these clause numbers are not at all relevant for your exam as long as and as far as you know that we are doing section 10(6). So instead of writing that subclause number, I will simply do them with you as points 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason is the actual 10(6) has got many more subclauses, but in inter syllabus, out of so many subclauses, they have kept only 4. Not the first 1, 2, 3, 4. They have kept random. So ignore the clause number. Just know that following 4 separate independent exemptions are given in 10(6). And what is the only thing which is common in all 4? Come on. Bolna mat, they are all under section 10. They are all exemptions for non-citizens. They are all exemption for non-citizens. That's the only thing which is common. Let us learn them not as subclause number but as point by point. Section 10(6). If you are citizen of a foreign country, following incomes will be exempt. Salary which is paid to employees. Are you comfortable with the short form employees? See, every time I talk about employer, boss, I will write ER. And every time I talk about people working under the boss, I will write the short form EE. Salary paid to employees of embassies, consulates, etc. Those employees which are working in India. Embassies, consulates ka employees who are working in India. Obviously, the embassy belongs to a foreign country. Matlab, we are talking about Singapore embassy in India. So there will be employees of government of Singapore working here. There will be Malaysian embassy in India. So there will be employees of Malaysia government working in that embassy. My first question, are those employees working in India? Just imagine you are a citizen of Australia. India mein there is Australian embassy. Your government has sent you as a staff in that Australian embassy. But you are working where? In India. So work done in India. Money received also in India. First of all, the salary that you receive is Indian income. Do you agree? Second, you are working in the embassy. It's your full-time job. So you stay also in India only. You won't be doing daily up down from Australia. Then morning you come from Australia and evening you go back to thug life. So you stay also where? Are you resident? Is this Indian income? But we want to grant you exemption. See, supposingly it was non-resident, it was foreign income. So there is no question of taxing you in India. But everyone is clear that an employee working in Australian embassy in India, that is a resident employee and the income is also Indian income. It's a very, very clear case of taxation as per scope of total income. Is it taxable as per scope? But we are granting you exemption. On which income? On the salary that you are earning here as an employee of that embassy. Means Australia ki government will be paying you salary here, no? That exemption, that income will be exempt from tax. If means there are conditions. Condition 1, you are not engaged in any other trade or profession in India. Which income we are granting you exemption? Salary. That should be your only activity. You should not be doing any other business activity, any other business, profession, trade in India. Of course, a good student can raise an objection. Sir, is he already working with the embassy? Australia ka employee working in Australian embassy working in India. Is the employee already having a job? Working in the embassy? Yes. So where is the question of doing other trade or profession? Of course they can. Everyone wants side income. Embassy will work Monday to Friday. Weekends mein he is free. So he is giving tuitions on costing and financial management. See, law is different country by country. Taxation is also law. So DT, IDT may be different. But cost accounting principles, standard, marginal, are global concepts. Financial management principle, cost of capital, capital structure, ratio analysis, leverages, are global concepts. They are same across the globe. So capital structure that you have studied or cost of capital, KP, KD, KE that you have studied, I into 1 minus T, cost of debt, because it's fixed. Cost of preference shares is KP. Dividend, once upon a time there used to be DDT, so we used to in bracket write 1 plus T. But that T is now removed because there is no dividend distribution tax. But cost of equity is not fixed. because we don't pay fixed dividend to equity shareholders. So KE changes. Net income approach, net operating income approach, Modi-Gilani-Miller approach, capital asset pricing model by William Sharpe. And how I know all this? These are global concepts. They are same everywhere. Can that embassy official have knowledge of these concepts and do tuitions in the weekends? Then you will not get the exemption. For getting exemption from your salary ka tax, you should not be doing any other activity. Bro, what if that embassy employee is a very good singer, so weekend mein performs shows? Guitar के साथ में goes to night clubs, embassy का employee and sings Hindi songs. That also, you know, just imagine Australian singing Hindi songs. This will be very, very attractive. People always want to know how weird things take place. So people, you know, in full attendance. In fact, that club is paying him extra amount for singing Hindi songs. Possible? Forget everything. He is working in embassy. His job is to check your papers. You as an Indian go there applying for Australian visa. He checks the papers. Surana, very good. I need more photocopies. You already have given him 5 copies of all the documents. No, I need 10 copies of all the documents. So do one thing. Cross the road. He'll tell you the name of the shop. Get Xerox from that shop. And that shop only, no other shop. Show me the bill. Later you find out he is the owner of that shop. So therefore he is asking for more photocopies. Is that possible? So then his salary will be taxable. See, having your own photocopy shop or performing during the weekends or giving tuitions to the tuitions during the weekends, that's not a crime. He's allowed to do that. But he will lose exemption. His salary will become taxable. Salary will be exempt only if you are not doing any other trade or profession. And matlab, this time the condition cumulative. You will have to fulfill both conditions. Embassy employees, matlab foreign government employees in India will not pay tax on salary if that embassy employee is not doing any other activity in India. And one more condition. And both conditions have to be fulfilled. So, anybody wants to guess? Pakka coffee date pe. We'll go together today only. Anybody wants to go? Or anybody wants to guess the second condition? Think about yourself as Australian citizen, getting a job from that government, coming and working in India in that embassy. Government of Australia is paying you salary here in India. It is Indian income, but government of India will not take tax, provided you are not doing any other activity other than that salary. And one more condition. Guess the second condition. अभी तक never answered any question. ठीक है? Now the moment I gave an offer, wrong answer. Tell you, wrong answer. What? This salary. Wrong answer. You understood the question? That embassy employee ka salary will be exempt if not doing any other activity. And one more thing. And I am not taught, I am asking you to guess. That is why I am giving you. What?
Foreign government more Indian company invest
Foreign government? That is not called engaged in any trade or profession. That is investment. That they can do from there also. They should not be doing any active trade or profession. This was doubt about the first condition, not a guess of the second condition. So investment is always allowed. See, whether you come to India and work or no, still you can make investments. Prohibition is on doing active trade or profession. Guess A. Levels of desperation. No? Okay, last 10 seconds. Okay. Time up. You almost gave the correct answer this time also. You are just missing by little every time. It is everything or nothing. I don't believe in half-hearted efforts. When I decide to give something, I give everything. So little not accepted. Full answer or nothing. You are working for Australian government in India. Likewise, Indian government will send Indian employees over there in Australia in the Indian embassy. Those employees will be paid salary by government of India, but the income is in Australia. So legally speaking, Australia government has right to take tax, but that government means Australia government should exempt salary of Indian employees. You need two hands to clap. You exempt salary of my employees, I exempt salary of your employees. You said it. No tax in that country, but I confirm this salary. You said yes. So wrong. Nahin, this salary nahin. Indian employees ka salary being earned over there. That government is exempting it. So we will exempt that government ka salary. So you exempt salary of our employees, we exempt salary of your employees. Is the whole idea here. You understood? Better luck next time. नहीं अभी तो syllabus has started. We'll get plenty of opportunities. But I will decide when to give, when not to give. Second, whether the answer is satisfactory or no, that also I will decide. Third, how much time to be consumed to give that answer, that also I will decide. Finally, the yes or no ka control will remain with me. And many a times, when a student gives the perfect correct answer, inter mein it happens very rarely, you know, 1 in 1000 ka ratio. But final mein it is like 1 in 30-40 questions. One here and there, I do get an answer. But then if I get the correct answer and I have committed, so then I also have to, honor the commitment. So very smartly, I find out some mistake in that answer. Well, everything was, but this was wrong. So take appreciated, but offer cancelled. Very smartly, I have cancelled the offer also many a times, but keep trying. I every day manifest that one day I will go out on a dinner date with Deepika ji. And one day I will do it and show the world. Keep trying, keep manifesting. It will happen. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, you exempt salary of our employees, we exempt salary of your employees, provided your employee is not engaged in any other trade or profession. Clear hai? Fantastic. Second point of what? 10(6). That is exemption to non-citizen. You are citizen of a foreign country. If you are Indian citizen, you won't get this benefit. Those foreign embassies, Australian embassy, they send some senior officials from their country. But the local level employees, they appoint from here only. So those employees ka salary will be taxable. Exemption is only for non-citizens. Next, if you are employee of a foreign enterprise, Enterprise word is used, company nahi. That means you can be employee of foreign proprietorship, foreign firm, foreign LLP, foreign company, foreign trust, anyone. And you are giving your services in. Do we sometimes send our employees to another place for working? So is it possible some company I am taking as an example, but are you clear that the word enterprise includes everyone? Company, LLP, trust, everyone. For convenience, I am saying company. Is it possible that a foreign company has sent its employee to work in India? So are you employee of a foreign enterprise and you have come on an assignment in India? That means while on that assignment, which is your place of work? India. That means the salary that you are generating is Indian income. Now to hell with your residential status. Is that taxable for? Sorry, is that taxable for everyone? Is salary income taxable for everyone? Indian salary income taxable for everyone. Is this salary getting generated in India? Yes. Is this salary coming under scope of total income? Yes. But this salary will be, which salary? The services that you have rendered in India, that salary will be exempt if, once again we have conditions. Condition 1, your stay in India does not exceed 90 days during the previous year. Your stay in India does not exceed 90 days during the previous year. Or let me put it this way, you have come to India on a temporary assignment and the definition of temporary is 90 days or less. Even if it is 90, for example, 40 days ke liye you have come to India. It's a temporary assignment. But during those 40 days, are you working in India? So the salary of those 40 days is Indian income, which is normally taxable for everyone. But we are granting you exemption. Condition 1, stay in India does not exceed 90 days and means cumulative. And condition 2, the employer enterprise, that means can I say the organization for which you are working, is not engaged in any trade or profession in India. Employer enterprise is not engaged in any trade or profession in India. So, see, you are employee of a foreign organization. Enterprise can cover from individual to company, everything. But for classroom convenience, I am saying company. So, let us assume you are employee of a foreign company. You are citizen also of that country. That company, your employer is sending you on a temporary assignment here. Temporary ka definition is 90 or less. Is 40 days qualifying here? So, you have come to India for a temporary period. During those 40 days, you are working in India. Therefore, your salary is Indian salary. Therefore, that income is arising in India. Therefore, it is Indian income taxable for you. Even if you are non-resident, it will be taxable. But we will not take tax on that salary. Condition 1, stay of 90 days or less. Condition 2, your employer organization, which has sent you on that assignment here for 40 days. Employer is sending you, no. That employer organization should not be doing any trade or profession in India. Employer organization should not be engaging in any trade or profession in India. So your stay in India should not be more than, equal to is allowed, less than or equal to 90 days. And second, your boss should not be doing, boss covers every type of boss from proprietor to company. Your boss should not be doing any trade or profession in India. Conditions are over. Point 2 is also over. Conditions we can understand also. So first condition is on your number of days. Second condition is restriction on your employer should not be doing any trade or profession in India. But the second question raises, second condition raises a question in my mind. I have some problem, some objection. What nonsense है. I have some objection to the second condition. Point is over. You have some objection to the second condition. बोल. एक मिनट recap मेरे को नहीं, I need the names again. वो रशकिड रुशैद, हाँ रुशैद, yes please.
वो एम्प्लॉय तो इंडिया आएगा, वो कोई कंस्ट्रक्शन साइड है या उधर आएगा,
एनीथिंग.
मतलब आएगा तो काम करने ही आएगा.
हाँ, yes, that is right. Go ahead.
तो वो जो काम कर रहा है जहाँ पे, वो तो फॉरेन एंटरप्राइज का ही है ना.
हाँ, yes, go ahead.
तो वो भी तो ट्रेड या प्रोफेशन हुआ ना.
हाँ, I was going to give an offer. But see, offer will come only in something which is really difficult to guess. But this was not difficult to guess. Think about it. Your employer is sending you to work in India is the beginning of the condition. And then in the end, you are saying that the employer should not do any trade or profession. Then why are they sending you? Manjeera. Why are they sending you? You understand? You are coming here to work for your organization. ऐसा नहीं है that you are on a picnic. You are not on a picnic here. You are not on a picnic. You are coming here for what? To work for your employer organization. And your organization is not doing any trade here. Then what are you doing here? Then why have you come here? Do you understand the question, the doubt? Condition is the company for which you are working should not be doing any trade or profession in India. Then why have they sent you? Even for 90 days, why are they sending you? If they are not doing any activity in India, then what are you doing in India? You understand the doubt? If they have sent me to work in India, means they should be having some business in India. Yeah, question. This is the doubt. This is the objection that I raised. Ab answer also you will only give. If the employer does not have any business in India, any trade or profession in India, then why is the employer sending its employee? Then what's the point of sending you? Come on. Answer also you will only give. Question you understood, no? Question is, if there is no trade or profession in India, then why are you sending your employee? An answer also you will give me. This, believe me, I was not even going to give an offer because this is too easy. Too easy. Okay, I take your answer as the first answer. Employer company is not doing any trade or profession, is sending you only to do some research. Research can be scientific or non-scientific, just to know, the taste of the people here. Just come here and show you some products whether you are liking or not. Just to give a demo of that product. They are not going to sell it to you here. Just to show you what the product is. Can they come here for some kind of training? Think about it. So, company is not doing any business, sending its employees only for taking that training. The training period also they have to be paid salary. But company is not doing any trade, sending the employees only to take some training. Is it possible that you are employees of news agency? Collection of data, shooting of films. The employer organization is not engaged in any active trade or profession, but they have to send you for these activities. And your stay in India during that is not exceeding 90 days. An employer obviously is sending you only for a particular task, itself not doing any business in India. So you understood the doubt as well as the answer to the doubt. Fantastic. This exemption was also only for non-citizens. Next, third point of 10.6, exemption granted to non-citizens, people who are citizens of foreign country. Matlab, you are a non-citizen already. Apart from that, you are also a non-resident. Non-citizen, also a non-resident. In the previous two cases, are you supposed to be a non-citizen here? But you can be a resident. You will be a resident only because you are working in embassy. So full year you are in. So you have to be non-citizen. Can you be a resident? Yes. Here also, can you be a resident? Say this year you spent 60 days and last 4 years you have spent 365 days. Can you be a resident? Yes. But here you have to be non-citizen and non-resident. Non-citizen and see, this is the common condition of 10(6). So extra condition is only this part. You have to be a non-citizen and non-resident. Do you understand? And you are employee of a foreign shipping company. Employee working on a foreign ship in India. Shipping companies are the backbone of international trade. Heavy goods imported or exported are sent through ships only. Every ship will have a captain and some crew members. So these are employees of that shipping company. And sometimes the ships spend massive time in India. By the way, you should know, once they enter 12 nautical miles, they are going to be considered as staying in India. So you are on that foreign ship within the Indian waters. Are you going to be considered as staying in India during that period? If your stay in India does not exceed 90 days during the previous year. Previous point also I wrote it. 90 days during the previous year. If your stay in India does not exceed 90 days during the previous year, then in that case, the salary that you are earning. My question is, are you earning salary in India? You are in that ship in India. So while the ship is in India, is the income arising in India? Indian income, salary will be exempt because it is only a matter of 90 days. Only one condition. Employee of foreign ship, not spending more than 90 days in India. Employee of foreign enterprise, there are two conditions. Not spending more than 90 days and employer not engaged in any trade or profession. This second condition can't apply here because if the ship is coming here, that means employer has some trade. But for shipping employees, we have only one condition, 90 days. For all other organization employees, we have two conditions, 90 days and employer not doing any activity. So employer sending you for any of this. Is that clear? Fantastic. And last, you are employee of foreign government. And that government has sent you in India for training purposes. So see, if you are employee of foreign enterprise, so that will get covered in the second point. 90 days and employer not doing any trade or profession. But if you are a foreign government employee, so government is sending you in India for taking training. So is it possible you have spent some time in India taking the training in India? This training you will now learn and go and work for that government in that foreign country, and it will be useful for that government. So the salary that you are earning in India will be exempt provided the training is taken from the following. So you can't be taking training from private organizations. Let me give you the list of trainers first, then this point will become clear. Company ka employees ka condition is different from government employees. Corporate employees ka condition is what? 90 days and employer not doing any trade. But this is not corporate employee of foreign country. This is government employee. Here, a company was sending employees for training. Here, government is sending. We are not putting any restriction on number of days. You can stay for as many days, but the training has to be taken from the following people. So, foreign government is sending their employee in India to take training from whom? None other than central government. Example. See, this will help you. That foreign government wants to know how India administered COVID vaccine to 1.5 billion, that is 150 crore people in a matter of few months. How did they manage? Today India's COVID vaccination plan is again, something that the world is jealous of. People said that, I think I have told you this told you about this also, that New Zealand only, I must have told you that New Zealand was successful in eradicating COVID very early. Bro, population of New Zealand, the other bridge. Now you remember that? India ka population is massive and it is densely populated, and therefore contraction of COVID virus is faster in India. Bro, if in Mumbai we decide to keep 6 feet distance, that is social distancing from everyone, then half of Mumbai will reach Pune. In Mumbai local trains, there is no privacy, there is only intimacy. In a Mumbai local train, when you're traveling, you have to hold the handle. Supposingly, you have some itching ear, that urge to itch. You have to remove your hand from the handle, do the itching ear, and again hold the handle. If you remove your hand and you successfully itch yourself and not someone else, that means it is an empty train. Because most people end up itching someone else. Relatable, no? How to maintain social distance in Mumbai local train? How? And still India administer COVID vaccine. So maybe that foreign government wants to learn how India has done that. So they are sending their employees. So the employees were told that first buy those bottles, then just fill water in them, then supply those water ka small glass bottles to all the hospitals. The nurse will tell the patient, look there. Some nurses did not even administer the vaccine. They just, hit the patient with their nail very hard. Done. Ja. You'll get your certificate. Go. Those who took COVID vaccine, their experience was that after taking COVID vaccine, after coming back home, they had, body pain, massive body pain, high fever, were not able to sleep, took 3-4 Dolo tablets continuous. Bro, believe me, nothing happened. That day when I took COVID vaccine and I came home, I actually went to play cricket. Because I knew that if I stay at home, I will continuously be thinking, today I have taken vaccine, something is happening to me. If I have to distract myself, I went and played cricket. Everyone told me that after taking the vaccine, especially the first dose, you should be taking some rest. I didn't. There were some people who had only pain in their arms. Believe me, I didn't have that also. And forget about having anything. Of course, when that vaccine entered my body, vaccine basically contains some dead virus. What is a vaccine? It has dead virus so that your body develops autoimmunity. Which is why that fever and all that reaction. Bro, when that virus must have entered my body, that virus must have seen the bacteria inside already. Full childhood, I have eaten the kind of junk, that pani puri, that guy is dipping that pani and then he is doing this at various places in his body. And then again dipping his hand in that same water. Then he is washing the utensils with that gutter water. Same next day he is making the pani puri same in that same vessel next day. Bro, that virus would have been shocked, bro. So much bacteria. No, I am good outside. With so much bacteria, the body is already immune. Believe me, my body does not keep anything. It just throws it out. If it likes it, it will keep. Otherwise, it will throw it out. Because of the amount of bacteria I have consumed. Middle class teaches you a lot of things. When you grow up in middle class, you need to, develop all these skills. Automatically, they get developed. So I have no idea, but nothing happened to me for sure. However, recently I saw some reports, and I have taken Covishield. So they said that Covishield people are prone to heart attacks, cardiac arrest. You should do yoga. I taught you that yoga ka asan, no? Anybody who has taken Covishield here? You've taken Covishield. So for that, to get rid of that heart attack, there is one asana. Join your hands. Stretch your hands like this. Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar Jai Kapishati Hulok. That's the only asana which can now save you from Covishield. If my nurse gave me the certificate without actually administering the dosage, so I am in fact happy. Sputnik, anyone? Sputnik, nahi. We Indians like Russians. Vaccine, no bro. All other vaccines had 2 dosages. Sputnik had only 1 dose. Vaccine, bro. In general, Russia has always been cordial with India. Therefore, India did not support Ukraine in the war. I was talking about liking Russians in that way. USSR earlier, it used to be late 80s when India was in trouble. Russia was the first country which came to India's rescue. And therefore, India always believes in being extremely good friends with Russia and Russians. So that foreign government wants to know how India implemented its massive vaccine plan. For that, they are sending their employees for training. You can be taking training from state government also. State government. Like literally foreign municipal corporation ka employee coming there. And that government has basically told its employee that India mein government employees take bribe very easily and don't get caught. How does that happen? Go learn and come. We will implement this whole thing here. So that government employee has come. Okay? He is sitting in the municipal corporation office. Next to that BMC employee here. And that he is just observing how the government employees work here. So there is one person who comes to get a signature on his file. Now that guy is curious to know that now he is going to sign. How will he take the bribe? Under the table, above the table, there are CCTV cameras. He will get caught. How to take bribe without getting caught? So he observes what the Indian government employs. He is telling that person that I am signing your file. I am very honest. I don't want any single rupee bribe. Just go to that pan shop and tell that pan wala to prepare one pan for me. Take my name. Bola sir ka special pan. Pan, special pan. And full day, every file that he's signing, everyone is saying, I don't want anything. I just want one special pan. At the end of the day, that government employee is asking, bro, you are crazy. That foreign government employee. What are you taking in bribe pan? He is like, see, I told you I'm very honest. Chalo, now let's go home. End of the day. Before going home, they go to the pan shop. Well, today, how many pans were ordered for me? 15. Chalo, 15 into 15,000, 2,25,000. The collection took place at that pan shop. Special pan, amounts के हिसाब से you change the pan, chocolate pan, so that will be 20,000. Before you go, you collect everything. That's how we take bribes. Sir, what if at the end of the day that pan shop owner does not give you that money? Bro, I work for BMC. I can shut down his shop also. When you use both sides of your brain. So that government has sent its employee to learn this. So that we can, unfortunately, they don't have pan shops. I wonder how they will implement this. Anxiety there. But that was an example. So central government, state government. By the way, I must tell you this on a very serious note. India's digital payment system. I have told you this before, and I say it again because this is worth appreciation, irrespective of your political inclination, irrespective of whether you like or dislike a particular leader. One thing you have to agree and accept, that India's digital payment system, the world is even now thinking how to get used to it. UPI, QR code, what India has managed, that also in a population of 1.5 billion. Post demonetization, we were thinking how to go cashless. What about the villages? First, we told them to open the Jan Dhan bank accounts so that everyone is covered under banking. Then we gave QR codes to all of them. In the last weekend of December, I was not in Mumbai. That was the time when I was officially on a holiday. After that, I was waiting for your syllabus to get over. But I had gone to my native place, which I always do in the last week of December. In a small village, in the smallest of villages, that tea ka shop owner, etc., they also have QR codes and those voice boxes. Paytm par 12 rupees प्राप्त हुए. And if it's a phone pay box, then it is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's voice coming from that phone pay box, which he also adds by saying, Devi or Sajjano, Dhanyavad. By the way, just for my anxiety, I want to know that you must be having QR codes and voice boxes everywhere, even in Chennai, Kochi, etc. All the shopkeepers must be having the QR codes. No? Yes. So, do they have those sound boxes? that once you make payment, then there is a voice coming from that box saying that this money is received? Is that in the local language? Acha, it is. I was just curious to know. So they actually have voice boxes customized in the local language, not in Hindi or English. Appreciated. Because if they would have given Hindi boxes in South Indian states, no, they wouldn't have been, bro, 12 rupiah means what? They wouldn't have accepted. But in Maharashtra, do they have voice boxes in Marathi? I have seen only Hindi voice boxes. I have not seen any Marathi voice box in any shop. And despite staying in Lalbagh area, believe me, I don't think this calls for protest. How can you see everywhere you are doing the local language, then why not you? You know, Airtel as a company, when it came to, India first time, in their customer care, they have multiple options. For English, press 1. Hindi ke liye 2 dabaye. Marathi, they did not have Marathi option over there. And then there were some protests locally that if you are operating here, you have to give that option. Even Hotstar, recently Hotstar में cricket matches का commentary में multiple language का options are there. They are giving all options in South Indian languages. They did not have Marathi option. So why are you doing injustice to my state, bro? You are customizing it to every state. Then you should. I think, believe me, if they are doing customized local languages in South India, then they should be having the local language voice box in Mumbai. And then I don't belong to any political party. It is my general belief. You have to speak the local language and respect the local culture. Otherwise, Popal Bamboo. I am very, very clear on this. So training from state government, central government with respect to digital payment system. Taking training from any government company. Today, BPCL, HPCL, Indian Oil, they have their petrol pumps across the country. How you implemented this? Because the start has to be always humble. So how did you manage? Or training from a subsidiary of government company. You know the meaning of subsidiary? Where you hold more than 50% of the face value. So that company becomes your subsidiary, you become the holder. So government company or subsidiary of government company. You are a foreign government employee taking training from this organization. You have come to India to take training from this. You have come to India to take training from a statutory corporation. An organization established under a law. For example, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So supposingly, you are an employee of foreign government. That government wants to implement IFRS, Ind AS in their country. So how has ICAI implemented Ind AS in India? Go learn and come so that we can also impose Ind AS in our country. So you are coming and taking training from ICAI on behalf of that foreign government, or you are coming and taking training from a cooperative society. If you are coming to India and taking training from any of these organizations, the salary that you are earning, I hope you are understanding, is the salary being earned in India? Bro, you are in India only, no? That salary is going to be, because you have come here on behalf of the government. So for foreign enterprise ka employees, the restriction is on number of days. But for government employees, the restriction is from where you are taking training. And these are the exemptions that will be available to non-citizens. Isme only the third one had to be a non-resident. This guy can also be a resident. Is it possible that the training took 1 full year? Full year you were in India, you are a resident, but you still remain a non-citizen. At the end of this much syllabus, I think you are clear about one thing. Residential status and citizenship are two different things. So you can be a resident but still a foreign citizen. This exemption will be given only and only if you are a foreign citizen. Is that clear, everyone? That was your 10.6 tax exemption to non-citizens. Let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Section 10, clause 10 BC. Now understand, there is section 10.10, 10.10A, 10.10 AA, 10.10B, 10.10C, 10.10 C. These are all clauses of section 10. But all of them will be a part of your salary chapter. For example, gratuity is related to salary, pension is related to salary, leave encashment is related to salary. There's something called VRS, 10.10C, related to salary. Whatever is not related to salary, we are learning. Whatever is not related to salary, Whatever is not related to another chapter, any other chapter, we are learning here. That's one thing that I wanted you to know. One more thing that I want you to know is, this is the right stage where you should be knowing and learning this. Supposingly I do with you a section 1010, and then I do with you section 1010A. Section number is 10 only. Are both sections 10? And sir, 1010 or 1010A, one and the same only, no? No? Tell me one thing. I am humiliating you if I am doing this. Is 1011 different from 1010? They are as different, bro. There was clause 10. There was clause 11. They wanted to have a clause between the two, so they use alphabets. Whenever you learn law for the first time or second time, whoever teaches you law has to tell you one thing. That supposingly there is a section 10. And supposingly there is section 11. At the original creation of the law, we make sections like this only. We don't leave gaps in between that. Let's create 10, 12, 14, 16. Let's keep gap in between. Later we have to add sections. The first creation is like this. Now they want to add a section between 10 and 11. So what to do? 11 you become 12. 12 will become 13. Are cinema hall? One seat, go ahead. No. We will use alphabets. If you ever see a section which has letters, that means that section was not there when the law was created. It was later added by way of an amendment. For example, we do have a section 10 double, tax benefit in special economic zone. This looks like 10 and 10 same to same. This is same section because they are parts of section 10. But these are two different sections. Is 10 different from 11? 10 and 10 double A are as different as 10 and 11. 10 double A is a section between 10 and 11. So section 10 is different from 10 double A. You know, mistake is made when students write like this: 10 double A, 10 double A, 10 double A, 10 double A. No, sir, it is 10AA, a section between 10 and 11. Section between section 10 and section 11. Do you understand this? So whenever there are alphabets, that is a different section. Achha, tell me one thing. Are 10.1 agriculture income, 10.2 share of profit from HUF, 10.2A share of profit from partnership, 10.4 NRE account, or 10.6 non-citizen, they are all a part of the same section? Yes. But 10AA is a different section. And in this also, if there are different clauses, like 10.10 is not same as 10.10 BC. In section 10, they are different parts, but these two are different from each other. So these things we will be learning in salary chapter. Here we are learning 10.10 BC. So for knowledge purpose, one more important thing that you take home here from here, that 10 and 10AA are not the same section. They are two different sections. Ye clear hai? But 10.1 and 10.2 are the same section, different clauses. Is that clear? Section 10, clause 10 BC. Any compensation that you receive from government, central government or state government, due to loss of life and property, due to a natural or a man-made disaster, government will give you compensation. Is that money? Sometimes it can be monetary also. Is that money received? It is going to be fully exempt. Compensation that you receive is going to be fully exempt. Sir, what are you talking about? Please understand. Natural disaster, earthquake, floods, tsunami, man-made disaster, riots, war, people living in border areas. Supposingly, there is cross-firing from both sides of the border. So that country ka person, whoever is in the army has fired a bullet. That bullet is coming and asking, soldier, Civilian, okay, side. Soldier, civilian, side. Soldier, ta. Bullets don't ask your identity. Though there are people who lose their lives in cross-border firing. People living in border areas, they lose their houses. That's a man-made disaster. War is an example. Riots, communal riots. Unfortunately, India has seen this more times than you would like to know about it. Your Gen Z generation may not be aware because thankfully it's been a while. Okay. But Mumbai cannot forget the 1992 riots and the post-riot bomb blast that took place as revenge for those riots. A very, very dark, dark, dark day in the history of Mumbai. Similar communal riots 2002 गुजरात saw it. 1984 में खालिस्तान riots, मतलब Punjab region of India saw those riots. These are man-made disasters. Forget riots or war. Something as simple as a train accident. So every time a thing like this happens, whether earthquakes, tsunami or riots, government you often see announcing news channels that central government is going to pay 10 lakh compensation to the families of those who have died, 5 lakh compensation to those who are severely injured, 1 lakh compensation to those who are minorly injured. State government also pays some compensation. Now read the section. Now just imagine you meet with a train accident and you are severely injured. Government is giving 5 lakh compensation. After giving compensation, government is saying from this give us tax. Bro, auntie can do it. Considering the kind of jokes and memes that are making, 5 years I only made jokes on her. Now everyone is making. Bro, in 6 years, I don't know whether you know this term. This is a Mumbai term. In 6 years, she has made Dimak ka dahi. But knowing her, she will levy GST on this dahi also. Auntie is everywhere. That recently I saw one of the latest auntie jokes was a man goes home and suddenly his wife has a massive fight with him. Wife says that I have come to know that you are sending 30% of your income to a girl called Nirmala. Who is this? है ना? हाँ. So you never know. Auntie may probably give you compensation and delete this clause and tax it. But as of now, at least till your exam, this clause is there. Bro, everything that I'm teaching you in income tax, no, it is as of now. Like evening ka or tomorrow morning ka, next attempt ka, you never know. But at least anything cannot change for your assessment here. Whatever will happen, now we are a few days away from the budget. So whatever changes will happen in this budget, I remind you one more time, is applicable to people giving their exam in May 26. Till Jan 26, this syllabus is applicable. Anything changes with assessment year. So, May students are generally lucky. Earlier, they used to get 2 chances. May don't clear till same law in November. But if you don't clear November, then next May you have to study all the amendments. For example, now people are giving their January attempt. Now it has become 3 chances. May you don't clear, September same law. September you don't clear, January same law. January you don't clear. You have to learn the... Bro, first of all, in 3 attempts, if you are not clearing, so you in any case have to do more hard work. To learn the full law again. And this is why all the January students who are today, it's 10th of January, so tomorrow their exams are starting. I have clearly told CA Inter Jan 25 students, this is the golden attempt. Nobody has in history got 7 to 8 months to prepare for exams. CA Inter, you hardly get 2-3 months, which includes your self-study, your practice, your mock test paper. Everything has to be completed. Classes only go on for so many months. January 25 golden attempt. But even in this attempt, if they don't clear, no idiots. So in May 26, they will have to learn the new law. And believe me, this time it is not just amendments. You all are lucky that I am directly going to teach you the new thing. It is going to be very difficult to those who have studied, for those who have studied the old law. Because a chapter like capital gain completely changed. New taxation regime ka rates Completely changed. The only option will be to enroll for class again. Anybody who does not clear the January exam. Because at least the taxation laws are direct tax, massive changes have taken place in the budget, which I am directly teaching you the new thing only. So you are still very, very normal because you are learning first time you are learning the new thing only. It is very difficult for them because they have to first delete the old law that they have studied and learn everything fresh. Good old days, people used to, not clear, they used to only go through the amendments to understand, acha, minor change here. This limit was 150, it has been made 2 lakh, something like this. But this time there are terrible changes, massive changes. So if you know of people who are giving Jan 25 attempt, most of them probably studied from me only. I have already communicated this to them that this is the golden attempt. Please make sure you clear in this attempt. In case there is someone who has not studied from me and you know them, please communicate to them that it's a do or die. No excuse will be good enough. Because in 8 months of preparation, if you are not clearing, then after this, your result will come in end of February and May attempt will be in only 2-3 months. What exactly are you going to do extra in 3 months which you did not do for 8 months? You are the only person responsible for this. No other person decides your number of attempts. No other person. Stay focused. Stay focused. And distractions like your mobile phone, social media, as your exams come closer, you should be going away from them. I say this in class and then there are people playing videos in class. Kya no? Chatting what?
Checking the content.
Content of what?
गूगल ओपन कर रही थी अपने में और वो जो ओपन करके रखा था वो आ
क्या excuse ready agency? You understood all the compensation government is giving you will be exempt because government cannot give you compensation and then say chalo pay tax on this. So any natural or man-made disaster, the compensation is going to be fully exempt. Is that clear? Now, numerically next section is 1010D, but it's a very big section and we will not be able to complete that section right now. So therefore, sir, you are leaving us. No, I gave you break also. See, if you want me to leave early, then I can't give break. And if you want break, then I can't leave early. You don't say, sir, start 15 minutes late, then give 15-minute break, then leave 15 minutes early. Then to why happened, no, 45 minutes in 4 hours. First of all, in my lecture, starting late ka to option is out of question. Break I am giving you only. Whenever I feel that the lecture is very heavy, you will get the break. So leaving early is also not in the discussion. 1010D is big. Next section is not big. And section is 10 only. So I'll go ahead. Next is section 1015. 1010D I will do tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, no? Now Monday to Saturday 12 to 4. Hopefully. Hey, Bhagwan, now dhag happens. But tomorrow for now 12 to 4. Section 1015. Interest income that you are earning will be exempt. Interest income that you are earning will be exempt. See, interest income till now was exempt only for that NRE account. But for resident interest income is taxable. Following interest incomes will be exempt. 1. Any interest that you are earning from notified GSEC. You have heard this term? GSEC. It comes in BCom ka economics. It comes in financial management ka bhi some theory it comes. No? Only probably the graduates are aware of this. Government securities issued by the government, which we subscribe as investors, and of course, government pays us interest. It's a very, cute short form for government securities, GSEC, just like you have Chiku, Chibu, Chinu. So, short form for government securities is GSEC. So, government ke scheme mein we have invested. We will be earning interest. That interest will be exempt, but not all government securities. If government has to grant you exemption, see, there are some securities where government desperately needs money. And rate of interest paid by government is, in any case, very less. So, the only motivating factor for people to become investor is that at least that less interest that you are getting, we will not take any tax on it. But that facility they don't give for all their securities. That facility they give only for notified securities. If in any particular scheme they desperately need money, they will notify. I want to see your general knowledge that if government wants to notify something, notification means an announcement. So how will the government notify this particular security? Notified means exempt. How will you come to know? Obviously, Modi ji will say it in Man Ki Baat that I am notifying. So how, where does notification take place? General knowledge है? Circular. अच्छा circular. चलो ठीक है. Agreed. Circular. That circular will come at your house with the newspaper. Website. Which website? www.mnm.com. Second M stands for Milan. MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So you mean to say that all government circulars are only related to Companies Act? तो क्या है? Income tax का circular can't come on MCA. No. Anything else? I thought I'll get the answer. Offer देना था. Where does government put its announcements? See, today Modi ji supposedly is making a new law. How will you come to know that the new law is made? News. Bro, never trust things that you see on media. Print media, electronic media, and social media. I told you about that influencer, no? Did I? No. About sharing of knowledge, podcast, doing a podcast for CA students. I said I will share some knowledge that I have. Then he said 3 lakh rupees. I said, bro, I will pay 10 lakh rupees to Ranveer Alabadia. I can afford that also. I thought it was a knowledge sharing. I had no idea that to do a podcast like this, you actually have to, bro, I belong to some other generation maybe. But you actually have to pay. No, bro, chill kar. Okay. You are just one of the students whom I have seen clearing CA exams. I have seen thousands like you. Thousands have come and gone. I did not take any name. But shocking. Okay, one by one CA faculties are being invited for podcasts and all those faculties are actually paying for it. What a good way of doing marketing. Bro, chalo. Let's not get into that. Do not trust what you see in the news. Because most of it, all of it is paid. Every word on print media, electronic media, and today's generation, social media. You know what? You heard of a website called Quora? People ask questions and then there are replies. So, how does paid PR work? I will hire a PR agency. That PR agency will create hundreds of Google accounts. One of those accounts will ask a question, who is the best direct tax faculty in the country? Then 50 will reply, Siddharth Surana. All replies are being done by the same person, by that PR agency in different names, different Google accounts. Then to make it look natural, from a couple of accounts, they will criticize Siddharth Surana. No, he is bad, he is this, he makes personal jokes just because Hitesh is cute. He makes personal, so that it looks natural. By the way, that reply also you are only typing. And then there will be 3-4 bad replies to these people. Bula, you don't know, this is how a direct tax class can be entertaining. You go learn from somewhere else, etc. And it's a complete game code. People are spending lakhs and crores of rupees in CA coaching. CA coaching. Let the teacher remain a teacher. I don't want to do any podcast. Unless you are inviting me and I am not taking money, it's a big thing. Normally to share knowledge, I get paid. Paying you is out of question, bro. Marwadi say he will take money to ask me questions. My knowledge I will give, and I'll give money also to give my knowledge. Bro, chill. So do not trust what you see on the media. Do not enroll for a coaching class based on the number of followers, bro. You are going to regret and regret badly. Because number of followers are the biggest scam in CA coaching. Okay, so don't go by that. Government will make announcement where. I'm still surprised. I thought you'll give me the answer. Because once I will give you the answer now, you'll be like wanting to take your hair and hit yourself. You'll be so frustrated with yourself if I give you the answer. Parliament mein kya? Modi ji is like, hello, this security notified. Post. कौन सा post? Twitter.
Bank account is there.
Shall I? Don't tell me that CA inter students don't know official gazette. Don't tell me this, please. You don't know government notifications come in the official gazette. Any new law that is enacted, at the top you see the Gazette of India. That is printed in the gazette. Once printed in the gazette, it means government has informed everyone. Any new law, any amendments to the new law, any new budget also comes, no. They have to approve the budget and put it in the official gazette. That is how it becomes communication to the whole of the country. So government securities which are notified in the official gazette. And second, interest that you are earning on a post office account. You know, your generation again, the Gen Z will not be aware of this. But post offices of our country are actually allowed to do banking business. You can actually open a saving account, FD account, RD account, everything in a post office just like you go and open in a bank. But of course, our generation is the app banking generation. Earlier, people used to go and do branch banking. My generation saw net banking. Your generation, my generation only saw app banking. Our generation saw app-based banking. If I have to transfer a few lakh rupees from my account to your account, I don't have to go to the bank branch. I can actually do it from my phone. I don't even need a laptop. I'm not doing it. Example, overexcited. Example. But do you know that the same activities are being done in post offices also? That post office people are not opening their accounts. So normally bank account, if you earn any interest, it is going to be taxable. But on post office account, if it is individual account, then up to rupees 3,500 will be exempt. And if it is a joint account, can we have joint accounts also? Then up to rupees 7,000. Joint account double. 7,000 will be exempt. Supposingly I earn 12,000 interest on bank account, fully taxable. But 12,000 interest on post office account, so 8,500 will be taxable. So how 8,500? 12 minus 3,500. And if it was joint account, then 5,000 will be taxable. This is the amount of exemption. Anything over and above this is going to be taxable. So interest on notified government securities and interest on post office account to promote post office banking. Bank account interest will be taxable. Post office account interest will be exempt. For individual account up to 3,500. For joint account up to 7,000, it is going to be exempt. Everyone is clear? So, yes, I skipped 1010D. Tomorrow's lecture will start with 1010D. And most probably we will be able to complete our exempt income chapter tomorrow and like literally start the real income tax law, that is heads of income, in tomorrow's lecture.